Hello and welcome back to the third episode of the 71st Hour podcast. My name is Seto or Ben, and I'm joined by my wonderful host, Jamie. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Hey. Oh, hey.
yeah.
Sorry, I was used to this. I'm used to this. Okay, go.
And
Great.
Nathan, our
So,
beautiful sound technician. How you boys been? How you boys been?
Depressed.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Not
no,
Yeah.
anything real life or anything, but
work.
it's been a no, nothing to do with work,
Oh,
nothing to do with real
you're,
life.
you're just depressed.
It's just
It's
the
just
bad
one of
news
the
today
times.
about the old Titanfall, but
Oh,
we don't have to talk about that.
Titanfall.
I'd
Of
rather
course.
just pretend it doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just keep playing Titanfall 1 campaign over and over again.
The Titanfall 1 campaign that's online only.
Yeah, oh true. I forgot that's actually a thing.
What?
That was
Yeah.
only it was only in multiplayer,
Yep.
which is that was a
Yeah, that's
choice. They were like, "Oh,
right.
dude, we're gonna do something
That's
new,
right.
dude.
It
We're gonna
was.
make sure we're gonna the campaign missions are gonna be in game with
Mhm.
players, real
Yep.
people."
Yep. But
Didn't
the
really work out so well.
Titanfall 2 campaign actually good though. That was
Oh
actually
yeah, like
really
one of the best
good.
FPS campaigns ever.
Yeah, like they really stepped it up there. But look, like that's good. Like, look, depression's not the best thing in the world. Nathan, how
Hey,
about you?
maybe they'll make another one.
Exactly. You never
They've
know.
cancelled one. Maybe they'll just start development of another one. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I think that's a little bit cold, but that's okay.
Oh, it's definitely Coke.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you finish your intro.
No, Nathan, how are you? How's everything on your end?
Yeah, pretty good. A little
Yeah.
time for gaming, but
Yep.
the woes of an adult.
Yes.
It hasn't
of
been too
course.
long since our last episode, to be honest. So
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
only
been 4 days.
yeah,
like
4
a
days.
little like
Little
mini vacation from the podcast. Yeah.
exactly. But look, we'll start with you, Jamie. What have you been playing? With like the little time we've had, what have
Well,
you actually been playing?
well, boys, I've been edging this
You've been
week.
okay. Yes.
There you
I've
go.
been dual sense
Oh.
edging.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
So so
was
I
that?
forgot that I bought this. The pre-orders for this came out like last year at some point, and I was like, oh
What is
sure, this is the PlayStation equivalent to the Xbox Elite controller.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
can see
Okay.
like it's got little grippies,
Yep.
the
Yep.
black buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them on, but they've got like the like the things you have in the back. It only has two though. Only
Hmm.
has two
Oh,
little back buttons.
That's okay.
Which is,
I only ever used two.
yeah,
does-
me too. And it also has the trigger stops as well, so you can
yeah. Does it
and
still
you can
have,
also change out the.
does it still have like
joysticks.
your PS5 like throttling thing where like throttles the
It does
like
the haptic feedback. It does
haptic
the adaptive
feedback?
triggers.
Oh, okay.
This thing is way too fucking expensive.
How
This
much
thing
is
is really, really expensive.
much?
It
How
is. I'm a little embarrassed to say it. It was $360.
360.
$360.
Isn't the Xbox Elite 250?
It
Yeah.
is $250.
The
Mhm.
hell?
I will say, already, I feel like the build quality of this is much better.
Yeah.
Because the elites, they've had a little bit of. I feel like the quality assurance isn't as good with those.
Oh, yeah,
Where
they
like
have
the
issues all
grips
over the
come off
shop.
them.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of the buttons get stuck. I've had, I've literally had two different, three elite controllers between the one and then two twos.
Yep,
To be fair,
yep.
the third one I got was because I wanted the Master Chief one, but that's besides the point. I'm not good with money.
Different story.
Yeah, so I've been using that to play Destiny.
Oh,
Destiny,
yeah.
bit of Destiny.
Mhm.
So this week they released a patch that basically, I'm gonna stop. In the game during seasonal content, there were you would do these activities and you get patterns. You know the crafting system,
Yeah.
and you know it well.
Yes.
And so this week they released a patch where instead of the cutoff for those patterns being weekly, it's now daily. And obviously I had a few crafted weapons that I needed to get. Needed to get. So I've been doing a lot of the most fucking boring seasonal stuff ever. All those seasonal activities that no one really likes, but they do them anyway. Yeah, so that's been my Destiny experience. I will say the DualSense Edge is great. It's been great to play on a big TV with the Edge and have the back buttons. But yeah, it's sort of been weird. Like it's been like a retrospective almost on like the year of Destiny. Obviously before Lightfall comes out, and I don't know. I feel like it's been a bit of a weak year overall.
I
Where
would
like
definitely agree. It's
I mean,
been
you barely played, right? Like
that's the issue, right?
yeah,
Like usually there's a time during the year because with Destiny, I'm on and off with it all the time. There's
Mhm.
usually a time in the year where I'll sit there and play for like a good amount of time, right? Like for at least a good like 4 to 5 months. and I didn't really get that this year. I got like maybe a
I
month.
feel like it was almost that time. There was time where we were like, I feel like we were playing a lot. Like Nathan came back to the game. We
Yeah.
were playing it a decent amount, and I feel like that was maybe,
That was
I
about a
guess,
month.
towards the
That
the end of last year, maybe
Yeah.
earlier,
That
maybe
was
like July, August.
that was around the time where Kingsfall Master came out, right? That was around that time. So
Yes, it was the season where they released Kingsfall again. Yeah,
yeah,
in
and
Destiny 2.
there was a lot of stuff there, but I guess I don't know. We just kind of just fell off. But yeah, I feel like this year has definitely been one of more weaker years of Destiny.
Overall, I think I just got burnt out because we played a
Sure.
lot. Like I think that season that we played a bunch, I played like 40 hours in the first 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then it kind of didn't stop until like maybe the last couple of weeks of the season, and then I stopped for a little bit. But then this last season, this season of the Seraph, I can't even remember what it was called.
Yeah.
I have barely played. I've been jumping in a little bit. Then there was that weird thing where maybe you could lose your account and all your characters and shit. And then that ended up being bullshit. And I was like, okay, well, like, I don't know. Even after that, I was like, do I need to play this? But now, it's nearly time for the new expansion. So I'm getting back into it. And I think I'm going to play pretty consistently until Lightfall comes out, I think. And there's a lot of good changes. Like, obviously, they got rid of blue drops. You don't get blues anymore once you hit
Thank God.
the soft cap.
Yes, that's
been nice. Obviously, not being like bombarded with blues.
Mm.
Although last week I played a little bit and I went to my postmaster and it was literally full of blues. So I'm not sure if there's some activities that are still dropping blues that they're not popping on the ground, but they are still going to my account.
Yeah.
I saw someone who said that they lost like a bunch of rare materials that they were kind of storing in their postmaster because the blues kept going in and they take precedence for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know, man. But Destiny, it's been fine so far. I'm literally doing it out of like FOMO bullshit. Like it's not even it's not even really like a want. It's kind of like a
I need to do
well, I
this.
might as well. It's not even a need. It's just like a I don't know. I just don't want to miss out. It is FOMO. It's all fucking FOMO. The whole thing.
I am very glad they are getting rid of blues because I had one horrible experience where I had an abundance of ascended shards that existed, right? An abundance of them. Like I had 10 in my inventory, and inside of my postmaster, I had another 5. We did a raid, gave me a bunch of blues, and I lost those ascended shards.
Yeah, so I think that won't happen anymore.
That's good.
I don't think blues are dropping from raids. I think it's just maybe the seasonal activities still may sometimes drop blues.
Okay.
Although so far this week I haven't had any. So since reset was yesterday. I like how this is the Russian version of the trailer play.
Yeah, like right, you got to turn off autoplay.
I know I do. I do. But hey, for the Russian viewers out there who can't actually watch this video because everything's fucking locked down in Russia, this is for you.
We got to start up our Russian side platform for the 71st hour.
Exactly. I do. I do like how seasonal is still dropping it. I feel like that doesn't make sense because seasonal is like the one where like everyone can get into content. You know what I mean? I feel like that makes
especially
a lot of sense.
now with the new, obviously doing the change in the lockout on the patterns
100%.
dropping. Yeah,
but I'm still glad raids don't do it because like especially when you get stuck on like an encounter and you go through like wipe after wipe after
you're getting so many engrams to drop because you're
so
killing
many
like
engrams.
Hundreds and thousands of enemies. Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, honestly, like this has been sort of like a prelude to Lightfall, and I'm very, very excited for Lightfall. I think it's gonna be great. I think Nathan's gonna lose a lot of points on the Fantasy Critic because he counterpicked it. And I think it's gonna be fantastic.
Here's the thing for Lightfall with me. The only thing, like I'm excited for it. I am excited. I'm excited for the campaign, excited for the new area, but I am annoyed that the Titan subclass is again a smash.
But there could be more to it. I feel like there might be a little more to it than like what you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Well,
I feel like
I hope there's more to it.
All they've shown is sort of like him smashing a bunch.
Yeah. And I hope there is more to it. I really do.
I got to say the Strand kind of subclasses haven't really excited me that much.
No.
I'm sort of more excited for the weapons and
the only thing that has excited me about grappling hook. That's excited me a lot. I'm really excited for grappling hook, especially with like movement tech we already have in the game with Titan skating and Warlock skating. Grapple, I think, is going to make it so much better. I think it's going to make it so much better.
And I think it's going to be like a lot better getting around certain environments.
Oh, 100%.
Like when you've got to like grind like public events or some shit, or like you've got to go into like public areas. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. The zones you go to.
Yeah, the zones,
Patrol
you know?
zones. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Like getting around those spaces. Obviously, you can use the sparrow, but being able to use the sparrow, but then grapple as well. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
I'm super. I think the new destination is gonna be sick. I think the campaign is gonna pop off because Witch Queen was so good. Like,
Witch Queen was such a step up. It was so good. That's like
I
one of the
honestly
only
think Witch Queen might have been one of my favorite like FPS campaigns. Like, full stop. Honestly,
100%.
I really,
I
really
would
enjoyed that experience and
I would agree.
the
I would
story and the
agree.
twists and yeah, no, I really and also the the legendary difficulty. It sort of brought me
Yeah.
back to like old school Halo.
I
A little bit.
do one of the main reasons I'm getting Lightfall is for the campaign. Like, I do generally think if you're gonna get Witch
It's
Queen
my
by
main reason.
itself, the campaign was worth the price because the campaign itself was just that good. It's that good of a campaign. So that's one of
It's the
main
only Destiny campaign I've done multiple times that it wasn't just out of the need to
flaws.
do it on a second character. It was
You
like I
actually
wanted
wanted
to
to
do
do
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Nah, it was really good. And yeah, and we're doing it day one as well. We're gonna do it on when release, which is when me,
You do need
Shadow,
to
and
request
Arma.
that time off.
Yes, when me,
I've not
Shadow,
done
and
that
Arma
yet.
when me, Shadow, and Arma did that, it was really fun. It was really fun doing it in the morning around the time when it came out because it's all brand new on what you're doing, what you're going through, and like finally completing it, getting everything. It's really good. So yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
excited to do it with
I
us.
think it's going to be great fun. And the raid, I mean, I think the raid's going to be good.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't
how
thought
was
about it.
what was the raid for Witch Queen? Oh yeah, it was fine. It was okay, right?
It was
Val the
about the
Disciple.
people. No,
It was
no,
all right.
the boss fight was really good though. The boss fight. Do you remember it? Where you
I
we
don't
only did it a
remember
couple
it.
times. It's the Ryuk, what his name was.
Oh,
And he
roll. Yeah,
roll
with the storm. He kicks you,
yeah,
he kicks the shit out
yeah,
of you. Yeah,
he
that's really
kicks you,
fun.
and
No, yeah, you're
when
right. That was
you
a
do
good boss fight.
damage, it's like Dark Souls shit when you do damage, like he's chasing you around and shit. Really
The
cool.
Dark Souls of FPSs. Yeah, exactly,
I
exactly. That's what
really
we
did
said.
like
That's what we
that.
said. Yeah, yeah.
Because so many Destiny bosses is just stand shoot, but that made you go dynamic,
Big
have to move.
enemy, use sniper rifles slash grenade launcher slash
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever's meta at the time.
And him
Yeah, no,
just
Rock was fun.
and him just like just curve stomping you off the map is great. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's been one live service game, right? Let's talk
Yeah.
about. We could talk about Overwatch, but I think we'll save it a little bit.
Oh, thank
Just
God
a
we're
little bit
saving that,
over.
dude.
And
Best for last.
I think we'll to see what Nathan's been playing this week.
Yeah, Nathan, what have you been playing?
Why did you mention live service? Is there something you wanted me to talk about specifically?
What's the second game on that list?
Okay,
It
yeah,
is.
I thought so. Yeah,
It's live service. I'm
is.
definitely not talking about
live
like,
service
the
now.
first one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Is
how's
Battlefield
Battlefield? How's Battlefield going?
2042? I have played very little of it since the update. I've had not too much time, but
When did the
I
update
have,
come out?
2 days ago.
Okay.
Something like
Okay.
that, 3 days ago.
Okay.
But I've played a few games and I've like read through all the patch notes and like watched the video. I've watched this video that I'm playing right now. If you're looking, thanks 9 to 5 Toys.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh yeah, look at that. Like, I mean, if you're watching the video,
Yeah.
like, there's proper classes and shit.
Yeah, that's actual.
Oh my god, thank God.
But yeah, they added classes back. Yay!
We finally
No.
reached Battlefield 3 levels
Yeah.
of design.
Yay.
I'm glad we've finally reverted back to where we were 12 years ago.
So as you can see,
And
they haven't
earlier.
completely moved away from the specialist system as we expected. Each specialist just goes into their own class now. And each class has its own native gadget. And you also get to choose another class gadget, and you also get a specialist gadget. So you get 3 gadgets.
That's actually
Holy,
really
that sounds like would be difficult to balance a little bit. is it-
You would think it actually works pretty well because it
that's
works
good.
like a normal Battlefield game now.
Have you noticed the weapon proficiencies with each class? And also maybe explain what they are.
Yes, yeah, no,
Oh,
I'll get
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that was my major gripe with it, was the fact that you could only have like one class gadget because you would only get to choose like one shit gadget basically. Anyway, having 2 gadgets completely fixes everything. Like my big main issue with it. And yeah, the proficiencies, each class has its own specific weapon proficiency. So they haven't like locked you into using a specific type, but they're rather like giving you a cheeky little bonus if you do use the type that they say you should use.
Yep.
Like engineers, they'll be like, you'll get more, like I think it's more weapon accuracy with LMGs, and assault gets 3 extra magazines if you use assault rifles, stuff like that. My personal favorite thing is they finally brought back defibrillators. It's the default class thing for medics, so you have to you have it by default. So you can stand around the corner charging and then zzz,
Does
around
it
the corner.
do? Is it still like a button prompt sort of thing, or is
No,
it a thing where
it's an
it
item
is like
again.
Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
it's
God.
great. And they also made the repair tool the native gadget for engineer. So now it goes from no one having it to everyone having it.
Right, yeah, because there was no right. There was you had to choose one gadget, and there was no
Why would you
way.
choose a repair tool?
There is no
Yeah.
reason to use a repair tool unless you were doing a tank crew and you had like two other maybe
Yeah,
anti-ground missiles, and then you had like one person on
You had to have a squad.
repair tool.
The
Yeah.
only time that we ever did it is when we were flying around in the helicopter and we would quickly dip into the passenger
Yes,
seat, repair
it was
it.
super circumstantial.
Yes, very much so.
And basically like there were only like maybe 2 or 3 scenarios where it would be worth it. And
Yeah.
you needed to really coordinate it. Like you would if you were playing
Yeah.
this game solo, there's no reason why you'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna repair these guys' vehicles.
Not at
That's
all.
the important thing to do.
They've also reworked that snow map. I'm not sure if you remember that one, the one where it's like a big.
Yeah, what did
blizzard.
they change with that? Like how is it?
So-
Is it a significant change or
Right. Yeah, it's quite significant. They brought like basically everything on the map is a little bit closer together now, and they added
Mhm.
like a bunch of cover between the big points, so you can much more easily walk between 2 points rather than just like trying to get across this vast expanse that you're just going to get shot in immediately.
Mhm. Yep.
I think it's a really good start. They other maps definitely need that exact same love because I don't know, the first map that comes to my mind is the desert one.
The desert one is so
They-
bad. That one is
they might
so
have
bad.
already reworked
Oh,
that.
really? Okay, maybe I was just out
Because
of the loop.
there
then.
were a couple of reworks that happened before this update, but this was like the big one. I think they were like,
Yeah.
this is the one that's changed the most since from the original version.
Easily.
But I do believe at least the desert map they've mentioned that they were going to
Yeah.
rework it.
I'm sure
not
they
sure
will at
that's
some
done yet,
point.
though.
If they
Yeah,
did the
I
snow
think-
one, they'll do the others.
I think all of them are getting it
Yeah.
reworked. To be honest, at
Which
some
is
point,
great.
like yeah.
Because that was my second major gripe with the game.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like a lot of the reworks are sort of because a lot of the modes are now 64. Like there's
Yeah.
there's one Conquest can still be 128, but everything else is 64. So you sort of got to like rebalance the map around 64 players.
they changed the way that you search for games now. So instead of there being like everyone plays the 4 things that are on the screen at the start, you actually get to choose what you want to play. It's not like an advertised.
Now, is there the
playlist.
downside to that of there not being enough players to populate those?
There would likely
Game
be
modes?
some game modes that are not very full. Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
it's better than it just being everyone playing one, right?
Oh, like when we played season 2 and it was just that
Just that
fucking
map on Conquest,
the
and that was
one
it.
map they added over and over and over again. It's like, oh my god, I played this map more than any other map.
I
Like
fucking hate it now.
I never want to see that
Ugh,
map again. I got
never.
PTSD from it. Yeah.
They added a
good. No,
heap
that's
more
great.
guns. Like they pretty much doubled the amount of guns in the game, very close to it.
Really?
added
Most of
guns?
them
Oh, wow.
are.
Have they been slowly doing that?
No, I'm
was
not
it all at once?
sure. It may have been
Hmm.
all at once.
Yeah.
Maybe I
okay.
missed out on. Maybe I missed out on some updates. But since we played, at least it's almost double.
Yeah, because I
Um,
know
that's good.
I know like the last couple seasons they had like a couple of weapons at the beginning, but
Yeah.
if they've you know it's much more than that. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're mostly Battlefield Bad Company weapons, but I don't really mind. More weapons
Right,
is
so
good.
they've just moved the weapons they had in Portal over to
Yeah, I think there's
2042.
4 new ones, like actual new ones.
Okay,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Heap of yeah. I don't mind them moving
so good, though.
weapons from Portal, like just as long as there's more that we can use, because there was nothing really.
Oh my god, I remember day one looking at it and being like, "That's
It's
it."
depressing.
Like, there's like less than a dozen maybe a dozen weapons.
I don't think there was even that.
Oh my
Yeah, look at
god,
them.
yeah, there's so many more. That's great. Yeah, obviously they've
class.
done it like a little bit of a cheatsy way, but that's fine. Like
That's fine.
honestly, that's
Yeah.
better than
Yeah.
them being like, yeah, so we're gonna have 20 weapons, but it's gonna take 2 fucking years or some
Yeah.
shit. Like
'Cause-
that's probably the best case scenario to do that now,
Yeah.
especially as the game probably won't get a season after season 4, or
Yeah.
at least long lasting support.
Yeah.
Like after this, there's one more season, and then
Who knows?
Maybe
who knows?
that's it.
Who knows what
Maybe that's
happens?
it.
Like they have said that they're going to do more content after season 4,
Sure.
but they just said more content. They didn't
More
say,
content,
yeah, we're
yeah.
going to support this game with new seasons and all this stuff. Like
Yeah, exactly.
we'll see.
Yeah, it runs
Well,
better.
That's
runs a lot
really
better.
good. That's
Do they have
very
DLSS 3 yet?
I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked
Most
at the graphic settings.
Okay.
But I think my takeaway from this is we should pretend that this was the release of the game and that it didn't exist before this point, because I think this is how it should have been released.
Yes.
I'm
the
really
thing-
worried that it might be too late. Like,
Yeah.
like obviously we're going to try this,
Yeah.
but are other, friend groups going to try it, or are they just going to stick to like Warzone? Like,
Mm.
there's so much competition in the FPS space that obviously like Battlefield and Warzone work pretty differently. And I'm sure there's always people that are looking for that Battlefield experience. But I feel like people got so burnt by this release. Like there was so much like vitriol and hate when this came out,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
to the
100%.
point where it's like, can they? I mean, they've obviously recovered really well. I'd say, at least the
Yeah.
changes you mentioned, and even the changes we saw in season 2. But yeah, I'm really curious what's next for this game, and if it survives 4 seasons.
Yeah, I can't see them doing too much more major stuff. Maybe just like smaller stuff along the line, like slowly. But I think this was
I,
a well needed
I
update.
was gonna say from like a mechanics and balance perspective, I'd say that they're pretty set now. Now it's like supporting it with content
Yeah, exactly.
and keeping that flow of content. Because we feel like we've seen a lot with live service games. Like that is the key, like to keep people kind of chained to the game through new stuff. Each month being like, this is in the game now, or this map's been reworked in this way, or this weapon is balanced differently. Like stuff that is new and fresh that people can really like notice, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that was, I mean, how long did it take for season 1 of this game to come out? It was like
It got delayed like twice, right?
8 months.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
something over 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it was June. It was 6 months after or 7 months after release. It was like way too long. because obviously they had to be like, we're delaying the season. We need to fix this game because no one is gonna stay. We can release this game we can release the season in 3 months, but no one's gonna be around then. So we need to like, it's like Operation Health. They had to go into like the siege style where they're like, shit, we need to fix this game
We
like
need to
right
fix
now.
this.
Otherwise, we're not gonna have a community.
What like
And they still might not.
I have a little
Yeah.
hot take. I actually
Oh,
didn't
show it.
really enjoy 2042 when it came out. I actually did.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was. I still like enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was still an
I know
enjoyable
it was
experience.
I know it was bad, but I actually did enjoy it. I generally did enjoy
Oh,
it.
sorry, you did enjoy it.
I
Sorry,
did.
I thought you said you didn't enjoy it.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I
Game-
enjoyed
game
it.
for
Yeah,
the
no,
crew.
I enjoyed it too.
Always
Yeah, it
good.
was fun. Like we had fun
Yeah.
with it for sure.
Mhm. I didn't go solo or anything, but like when we were together, it was a good fun time.
I
knew
think the
it was
game
shit.
is enjoyable solo now, though. Like
It
you
is?
could
There you
enjoy
go.
it. Previously, it was hell, but I think you could do it now.
Nah, I'm definitely would re-download. I'll check it out. I'll see what it's like actually because yeah, I do enjoy this game.
I'm glad it
Yeah.
runs better.
Yeah, no, it's
God.
great.
Big thing.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, it was hard to keep like 70 frames with like a 2080 Ti. Now it would probably be, they could fucking remove all the optimization. It'd be fine for me now, but still better. Still good now.
Yes,
Everyone.
100%.
That's nice.
100%.
Mid-range PCs can survive in
Yeah,
this
at
game.
least play the game.
Yeah, it's actually playable. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, no, I'm glad that because you said the update was coming soon, and I'm glad it's actually here.
Right, I
So-
opened that EA app every day.
Where's
He
the
was
fucking
waiting for it.
update?
He was waiting.
Yeah, no, that's
for it.
great. Yeah, we'll definitely try that. I'm down to do that this weekend.
I'm
Yeah.
very down. Yeah, very down.
All right, well,
Give it a
Jamie,
go.
how about you take us to your next game?
Yeah,
you've
we'll
been
go
playing?
next game. We'll go your
Sure.
next game.
These are going to be quick. I'm
Okay.
going to be quick with these because I did just talk about them on Monday. So I did, in between Destiny sessions, I finished Hi-Fi Rush
Mhm.
and the Dead Space remake. The good thing is these games obviously were like 10. I think Dead Space took me 12 hours. Hi-Fi Rush was about 11 hours. I'll talk about Hi-Fi Rush first. I think this has one of the best endings and best last 2 hours of a game I think I've ever played. Like,
oh wow. Oh, that's
like it is incredible. It is insane how, because a lot of games I feel like by the end of it they start to like you've seen everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like you're sort of a little bit happy that it's ending. Not the case with Hi-Fi Rush. Even though in the last level, they're still introducing new enemies to fight and
wow.
not so much new mechanics, but kind of stringing everything together that you've learned. And it's actually difficult. Like, I mean, obviously in the last podcast I said it's harder than Sekiro. It's not obviously harder than Sekiro because Sekiro demands perfection where this game doesn't. But I think getting really good at this game is harder. Where the idea of like mixing combos together to the rhythm is, at least for me, more challenging than in Sekiro, where you can kind of like not really spam your parry ability, but there is a little bit of that parry kind of. You don't have to have the same rhythm. You just need to hit it sort of at the same time, in a way that Hi-Fi Rush kind of would penalize you if you don't hit it perfectly.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude, like it's so good. This game is getting a sequel. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait to see what's next with this game. There's stuff to do after the campaign is over. I'm gonna dive back in for sure. It's
There you
great.
go.
So
There
that
you go.
is Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna play this?
100%.
Yeah, I've already played a little bit. I'll get into it.
Sorry, I should say you're gonna play more of it.
Yeah, no,
No,
I'll get that.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, that is Hi-Fi Rush. Quick little update. Fucking good. Worth playing all the way to the end. Dead Space. I'm a little lower on Dead Space since last time.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I still think it is a fantastic remake, but I think some of the closing moments of the game, they could have been revised a little bit more. They're a little like, particularly like maybe I'm not going to spoil anything, but like the final sort of boss fight definitely reminded me of like a 2008 game in the way it's sort of set
Ooh,
up.
yeah. Okay.
And I was like, oh, like this is. I don't want this to be like the last kind of footnote for this game, but it is. And even the last level is very like, they're kind of like, okay, we're gonna bombard you with so many necromorphs, and you are gonna have a hard time. And it is difficult. It was challenging. Like I think I said last in episode 2 that I was kind of filled up with ammo. Like I never really was running out of ammo. I was running out of ammo towards the end, like a lot. Like I was constantly would click, and then it'd be like, oh, I've got no more shots in my plasma cutter, and then I got to run.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean everything else except for that last kind of mission, which in the original, mind you, was very kind of, even for 2008, was kind of like, this is like whatever. Like I'm not really enjoying this too much, especially playing it, recently. But yeah, man, like everything else they nailed. Like I didn't even talk about the atmosphere. I feel like that much in episode 2. It's really good. Like just the lighting and real time, like volumetric fog is used so beautifully and perfectly. Like they really pick their battles, I think, with the technical aspects of this game. And yeah, it's so worth playing. So worth playing. But yeah, I guess like maybe temper your expectations a little bit if you play it.
Yep.
Just mainly for that last level, because
Okay.
it does kind of. I don't know. It was fine. Maybe I'm a little too harsh on it, but
Yeah.
it
I'll play it
definitely
one
did
day.
sort of. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's. I mean, it's
same.
going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, I might wait till it
Oh,
comes
it
to
is. Oh,
Play,
yeah, true,
not Play
true.
Plus. Yeah,
Yeah, same.
Because yeah, it'll be on EA Play,
yeah.
and then that's will trickle down to Game Pass. Yeah. So
Yep.
good game overall.
Overall?
I think it's almost at like a. I think it's almost Resident Evil 2 level.
Oh,
But I
that's
think I did enjoy
interesting.
Resident Evil 2 Remake more.
Yeah, because you did
Overall,
say.
looking at it as the overall package,
Hmm.
I think I'm going to retract my statement a little bit that this is the best
Okay.
remake.
There you go. There you go.
But
Okay.
that being said, if they remake Dead Space 2,
People,
easy
It's
job.
GG.
That
I
is
have
like
seen. I have seen a
so
lot
good.
of hype. I've seen a lot of hype for a remake for Dead Space 2. I've seen a lot of hype for it.
And I think they're going to do it. I think this game sold
Oh,
well.
100%.
I think people really enjoyed it. I think it's almost nearly as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
And as I said, everything up until the last level is like basically perfect to me. Like I can't fault any of it. I really can't. Except, well, there is another thing that I'm thinking of now. So in the deluxe edition, you have these like DLC suits. And changing them takes a while. That's all. that's the last thing. And that's a little bit annoying. Like
do you like go into like a menu to do it?
You go into like you have these storefronts, which is very funny. It's like very or sort of anti-capitalist, where it's like this ship is like basically fucked completely, but the storefront still works.
Right? Yeah.
It actually reminds me a little bit of game development, a little bit. Like
Yeah,
again,
true.
something's broken, but we'll wait and
still
do it
works.
eventually. But the microtransactions, they work perfectly. It's like Dark Tide. Yeah, so like you go into an animation, which is really cool the first few times you see it. Like you sort of like Isaac like walks into this like booth, it closes up and does like a zzzz, like animation, and then you have the DLC suit. But going between those suits does take a while because you have to have this animation every single time. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have just cut it, maybe like shortened it. I don't think it's like a technical thing.
Giving you an
because-
option to skip it.
Yeah, because you're on an SSD, like they can load assets real quick.
Oh yeah.
To the point where like the animation is definitely longer than how long it takes to load it. Because you can even see it. You can see the suit like almost instantly change in like there's like a tiny little slit where you can see the suit shift. It's this is the storefront. So you kind of walk into that. That opens up behind where the store is.
Okay.
And then it kind of closes.
Okay.
And then he
Okay.
changes. But yeah, I don't know. They could have shortened that, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, hella good.
Not
Not
bad.
sure if I'd pay $110 for it though.
Mm.
That's how much it is.
Yeah. That is quite a lot. Alrighty.
But there is stuff to do. Like there's a reason to do New Game Plus. I've heard there's like an alternate ending. And I guess I didn't mention in episode 2, but I have been doing 2 playthroughs. So off stream, I've been doing a hard playthrough only using the plasma cutter, and then on stream, I've been doing an impossible playthrough where you have 1 life, and
Well,
if you
that's fun.
die, that's
It's reset.
it.
That's fun. That's
So you
fun.
can either reset or you can just continue on hard.
Okay.
How
How
and
far
yeah,
is
that's
So you're
the-
resetting, right?
No, I'm definitely not resetting.
How far are you through the game?
If
on
I
Impossible
die
Difficulty?
on stream, I'll probably just continue on hard because
How-
like
Yeah.
How far are you through the game on impossible difficulty?
on
right now?
impossible, I'm 3
Yeah.
hours in.
That's not bad. That's pretty
I've
good.
done 3 hours, and I
Good
feel
effort.
pretty confident that I can probably get maybe 3/4 of the way through, and then the last quarter might be a bit of a
Yeah, it's good that
Yeah.
now that you've played it once before, you know what to expect as well. So it helps a lot.
Exactly.
and that I'm sort of worried about the last boss fight, even though I said it's very video gamey. I was running low on health at the end on hard, and impossible. Like I feel like I'd choke so bad, like
So
just
is
the pressure
Impossible-
of
Yeah.
being at the end.
So is impossible like hard difficulty but 1 life, or is impossible?
Yeah. So the way
advanced?
impossible difficulty works is it is the same balancing as hard mode, but you only have 1 save point, which like 1 save slot, which doesn't actually really matter that much
Hmm.
because you can't if you die, that's it anyway. So like 1 save is fine, and there's no auto save, which once again doesn't really matter that much because
Doesn't
when you
matter.
die on
Yeah.
impossible, you go in hard mode anyway, and then you do have auto save. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit weird that they even distinguish those because I thought like I guess if you have multiple slots and you're about to die, you can quickly load up a new slot. But I've seen people say like if you alt F4 just before you die,
That's one of those things.
you're fine. You can do that.
I
Yeah,
I
okay.
saw people, if you're on PlayStation, you can disable cloud saves and grab the save on a USB and then play. And then if you die, just delete that
love it.
save
Big
and then
force and
plug in a
CD.
USB. So you can
I
do that
love
if you
it.
really
I
want
love
to.
it.
And I have seen the rewards you get for finishing on impossible, and I want them.
The
You
worth
get a
it?
cool suit, and then the weapon you get a cool I don't know if I want to spoil it, but it's a really cool weapon. It's a
Okay.
one-shot weapon.
Oh, okay, that's pretty
But
cool.
it's
That's
like
pretty cool.
it's like a parody weapon. It's not
Yeah.
like a actual like cool looking weapon.
Mhm.
And it's kind of an homage to a similar weapon you get in the original Dead Space for doing the game on, I guess it was hardcore difficulty back then.
Okay.
But yeah.
Very good. Very good.
But yes, hard mode is hard towards the end. I will say that.
Yes,
So I'm a
understandable.
little bit worried now because like when I started on hard mode and I was like, fuck, this is a breeze, dude. Like I can definitely play this on impossible and get this shit. Now I'm not so sure. We'll see. I guess I have the benefit of having all the different weapons on impossible as opposed to just limiting myself to just the plasma cutter on hard. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's Dead Space.
Okay.
And I'm definitely going to do a New Game Plus playthrough to get because there's an alternate ending on New Game Plus. So
Very good. Okay.
which I
Yeah.
have not seen yet. But yeah, that's me. That's me done for the week.
Mhm.
Do we want to talk
I'll
about
quickly go
Overwatch?
through. I'll quickly go through Cowboys, and then
Yeah.
we'll
Don't you have? Yeah. Yeah. Nate
and then
has one
we'll
more.
hit Overwatch.
Yeah.
30-second timer this week.
Yeah. 30-second now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chat,
it goes down.
It goes down.
Audience, I've given Ben a challenge. Next week, he can't choose Overwatch.
I had to play something else.
Has to play something else.
Anyway, I've recently gone back into Red Dead Redemption 2. We've already featured
Yeehaw.
this on a previous episode, but
That's fine.
I'm playing it again, and it's a good game. I'm taking my time, smelling the flowers. I'm like I'm being a real Arthur. I'm not just speed running the story or anything. There's like
That's
a bunch of
exactly how I've been
elements in
doing
the
it.
game that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
That Jamie told me
Mhm.
a few days
I didn't
ago.
know them either.
Yeah,
Listen,
like you can use pelts and furs to upgrade the camp and like your bag storage with
Oh,
one of the
yep,
people in the camp. Like I
yep.
literally didn't even know that was a thing. So I've started doing that, and I'm hunting the legendary animals to get the sick looking outfits.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll keep it short because we've talked about this before. But this is my fourth time playing this game, and I still think I think it is still just as amazing as it was the first time I played it. Even more so now that I'm paying more attention to like some of the finer details and the side stuff. I think that it has no right being this ridiculously detailed.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I will say I've got a question.
Mm.
Is there something you're taking away from this playthrough this time around that you didn't in previous playthroughs?
That's a
Or
good
anything you're
question.
noticing, not even just new mechanics, but like anything, maybe I don't know, maybe mechanics, maybe story wise, anything you necessarily think is like different now that you know sort of know how the story ends.
Maybe not so much story wise. I feel like the
Mhm.
characters are pretty predictable. There's not a
Yep.
point where I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I think just mechanically and like more like side details in the world, like not even like side quests, like open world stuff that happens. Like some of it is just insane.
That was my answer to like I've played so many open world games and I feel like nothing even comes close to how alive this game feels.
Yeah,
Seriously.
And just like
the breathing world.
it really does feel like a breathing world where you can look one direction and see a guy mining digging for gold, and you look in a different direction and there's two police with a convict in the back sending them over to prison, and they say stay the fuck back or we'll
Yep.
shoot. Or you can see like a bunch of rabbits running down by the creek, and you see a bunch of deer jumping through trees, like jumping through the tree line. It just I don't know, man. It's like it's crazy detailed, as you said, Nathan, and it's such a monumental achievement from like almost every aspect of game design and art and music and voice
Yeah,
acting.
absolutely.
Um, we'll say though, don't like how input laggy the gameplay is. That's my only
That
thing.
is that is
And I know
true.
it's almost entirely possible that this was like a purposeful choice to make it feel like you need to when you're moving Arthur, you need to really think about your movements almost.
I think it's more to
And
make the animations look better.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's probably what it
it's
is. But
it's
like
the
Yeah.
I
animation.
definitely notice it when you see like if you do like the performance chart with Nvidia, and like most games it's like 8 milliseconds of input lag. And with Red Dead, it's like 60 milliseconds of input lag.
Yeah.
And it's like I probably wouldn't even notice it too much if I didn't have that on. But I really notice it. Like when I move the thumbstick, because I don't play this game with mouse and keyboard, and it just goes like I don't know. It's but
I
as I said, I think it is on purpose for sure.
yeah, I think Nathan's right where it's
It's totally a
animation.
design choice.
Like when you pull out a gun, you actually see Arthur whipping out the gun. You know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot of animations to actually go in between that, so it feels more realistic.
I do think the movement could be more responsive though. Like there's
Yeah,
like actual lag in terms of when you move the thumbstick and when Arthur chooses to move.
true.
That's like visibly that like I mean I know a lot of people complained about it at launch, but I never really noticed until now I'm doing it on another playthrough where I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's slow on purpose, but I don't know if I like it, especially going from a game like Hi-Fi Rush where it's like super fucking precise. Like
Yeah.
it's like that whiplash almost.
I think I've
I
only ever played this game on a TV, so it's pretty high input lag for
You're
me
still getting
anyway.
input
Never
lag
really
anyway. Yeah,
noticed.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's a good
I think
point.
it's like 40 milliseconds on my TV, so I'm
Yeah,
fine
right.
with it.
I finished my third playthrough of it about a month ago, right?
Mhm.
And there was one really cool side thing I noticed where, like in the city in Saint Denis, you see like beggars that are blind, right? Like, oh, I'm blind and stuff like that. And there's a couple where if you pull your gun out, they actually will react and they will freak out like they're not blind. And there's a
That's
couple
pretty
that
cool.
won't do it, right? And like if you see ones that do and ones that don't, Arthur will actually like have certain voice lines to the ones that are actually blind, and they'll have ones who are faking it as well. Like he actually adapts to it, and new voice lines come out, which is really really cool. Like as you said, small details like that, very small details that just make it so much better.
I honestly can't even imagine how big the script was for this game.
Oh, it was
like how many lines just for
so
Arthur.
bad. Yeah.
And then every character, it's like even you can do a lot of the missions you can do in kind of any order. Not obviously you can't do like the last mission, right? But you get like a stack of missions all at once. And then at nighttime when you're walking around the camp, characters will mention stuff you're doing
exactly
as you're doing it. It's like I can't even imagine from like just a game development perspective how much that would have been a piece of shit to do. Where it's like, oh fucking dude.
Bro, their flowcharts must be insane.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, what's his name is fucking talking about this mission before this person's done it. Like the bug fixing, man. Like it would have been a fucking nightmare. And it just goes to show that's what happens when you have a team that is super talented, mixed with fucking unlimited time, mixed with unlimited money. And this is what you get. Like it's just it is those three things all coinciding to make this perfect like potion of immense.
100%.
Basically.
100%.
And I think it's going to stand the test of time.
All right.
Let's move over to our weekly Overwatch 2 gameplay
From one of the
session.
best games of all time to one of the worst.
Okay.
Not one of the worst, but it's down there.
So it's down there, you think? Okay. Okay. So
I like the art design.
The thing about Overwatch this week, let me turn on the timer quickly. So Overwatch this week, actually, Jamie, we talked a lot last week about like quality of life and stuff like that with Overwatch. This week they came up with 3 blog posts and like 3 different things actually talking about that with competitive and their matchmaking and so on. So I'll quickly go over like a little bit what they said. The 720
Let me know when they add 6 characters again.
Yeah. They'll probably never do that. Never do that.
Well, we'll see how quickly how low the population gets, and we'll see what happens.
Can I ask a very quick question? Why are the friendlies red?
Friendlies red and other ones blue.
Are you colorblind?
No, that's the way I do it. I inverted it.
Bro, you were complaining. Okay, now let me just quickly say, you ate my fucking head when I had the colors of green and red. Green for friendlies, red for enemies.
It makes sense.
And motherfucker, you're inverting them?
Shadow ate you out and I just joined in. I don't really care. I see people run blue. I see people run enemy team
blue.
Team blue.
Bro, are they trying to play this on fucking hardcore? What does that mean? Blue.
Some people do dumb shit. But anyway, so competitive right now has a 7-20 system, 7 wins, 20 losses.
Yeah.
When season 3 hits,
it's gone.
No, when season 3 hits, they're dropping it to a 5-15 instead. So it's 5-15.
Oh, great.
But
that is actually pretty great. But
yeah,
make it 3. Make it 3.
Yeah, the reason
15.
So, no,
that's 15 losses.
15 losses.
15.
I mean, you're not going to get to the 20 losses anyway. But 7 was too much.
Yeah,
5 is getting better, but I think you can bump it down to 4.
There is quite a lot also with SSR and MMR. So I talked about last week about that coming close together. That's what they're doing.
Green space reflections, yeah. No,
yeah. So that's what they're doing. So SSR is now going to play a ranking into your matchmaking. So it's actually going to be important now, which is thank God that's needed. So it's actually going to be important.
Wait, isn't that what it was?
No, so it used to only be MMR. That was important. That's why you would see top 500s and plats going in the same lobby.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting the mix up. Yeah, SSR is the one you have for competitive. Right.
Gold.
Sorry. Okay. I was just mixing them up. Yeah.
A big thing they're adding, Battle Pass is actually gonna have tokens next season. Big one. Battle Pass.
I'm not buying it.
No, but like, how
I'm not finishing this one.
It literally, they're adding that in. Thank God. They're bringing back legacy tokens as well, so you can actually buy older skins. They are revamping and bringing back the On Fire system from Watch 1. The post credits.
Doing a Battlefield, bringing back all the old shit.
Yeah,
Operation Health.
They are.
Operation Health is nothing about PvE though.
No, so no. So with PvE, they actually did talk about PvE. They actually did talk about it. They did,
but it's not coming in season 3, right?
They did some teasers. It's not coming in season 3. They did some teasers, and they're going to talk about basically do a drop of it in like mid-season. That's what they said. Around.
I want to make a bet.
Yeah.
I don't think we see PvE this year.
You don't think?
I think it internally gets delayed, and we don't see it all throughout this year.
Potentially, I could see that, but yeah, no. So that's what they talked about as well. They're also bringing back borders, so borders and character borders. So like, let's say you play a lot of soldier,
Like
you do have
the oh no, okay, I thought it was the levels.
no. Oh, so that's
Bro, tell me when they bring back the levels, man.
So they are bringing back levels. They're bringing back levels.
Everyone's gonna be level 1?
No. So they're bringing back levels and prestige borders. That's what they're bringing back. Not everyone's gonna be level 1. So whatever level you were, I think pretty sure you're staying at, and you're gonna get prestige border back.
I just don't understand like why they changed it in the first place.
Yeah, no, it's a great question.
It's almost like they were like, shit, this has got a 2 on it. What are we gonna do? Let's remove a bunch of stuff.
Yes. No, it's a great question. I don't know why they did a lot of that, but they did. But they're actually adding a lot of stuff back into the game and actually revamping, which is nice. And competitive is being fixed. They also one thing, because I will quickly say this, and that's my last little thing to say. Last week, do you know how we asked about how many players there were concurrent? They actually
how many players?
So they have 40 million total. 40 million.
That's
total.
how many people have logged on.
No, 40 million total. 40 million total.
Yeah, total. Exactly. How many people have logged onto the game? Not concurrent.
Yeah. Concurrent. I'm pretty sure they said it was in like their highest peak this month was like, I think it was in like the 50 to 100.
Highest peak in a month. Get fucked.
In a month. I think this is not that, but I don't believe it total. But I wanted to bring that up because we did talk about that last week. We did talk about that. But yeah, so Overwatch is actually bringing out a lot of new shit, which is kind of nice. But it's still long way to go. Long way to go.
My question: why don't they make it like every other game or most other games where your MMR, SSR, whatever the fuck, changes after every game rather than after a certain amount of wins and losses?
So they did talk about that. So your MMR fluctuates because if the MMR and SSR are the same, which like that's what people are saying, MMR fluctuates too much where sometimes you'll like log off and you're gold 3 and you'll wake up and you'll be like silver 4.
We'll have them not do that.
Yeah, well, like,
don't do that. Hey, that what you just mentioned. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Your MMR fluctuates constantly, so it's.
We'll have it only happen when you're playing games.
Don't fluctuate the MMR when I'm literally sleeping.
Yeah, no, but your SSR does not, but your MMR does. That's why they.
Why? But why?
Why does it?
Why is it fluctuating when it's not even based on my skill level? It's based on other people.
It's because apparently it's processing.
Where it puts you.
It literally, where it puts you after like it processes.
So the ranks are like, and they usually are, but it's usually a bit more cemented and like less.
Yes.
So the ranks are based like off the current bell curve in the game.
Yes.
Rather than
exactly.
a set number.
Yeah, exactly. So the rank is basically that. So right now the average apparently is like silver gold, and that's where the kind of the bell curve actually hits. Plat, it kind of peaks there, and then it starts.
You think the bell curve's that now because a bunch of people have left?
It's
moved up because a bunch of people fucking ditched.
Ironically, the reason why the bell curve is silver gold is because everyone got placed bronze in season 1, so it's moving itself back to gold. That's basically what it's doing. So in season 1, it was bronze silver. Now it's moved to silver gold, and it's basically going to go back to gold plat. That's where the bell curve goes back to.
Question: if after this point I pick up the game and I play however many placement matches I need to place, would I get my rank that I am deserved, or would I go back into bronze?
So basically,
I think you know the answer.
I
think you already know the answer.
I'm quickly going to tell you this because it's actually important to say before I say it. Season 4, they couldn't do it season 3, but season 4, do you know how there's rank decay, the artificial boost to make?
They need to get rid of that.
That is getting rid of. That's getting rid of, and also you're just going to keep your placement. Basically,
I think it's too late though. I think our shit decayed so fucking much.
I'm bronze 5.
I mean, it's fine for me because I'm nearly gold, but it's literally completely fucked for Nathan.
It's so.
I feel like it's already happened. Like it's
I used
already
to be gold 3.
The damage is done. Like
apparently it's because the decay happened when you don't play for a long period of time. That's literally what they stated in the
but
blog
it carried over from fucking Overwatch 1.
I played like 3 years.
Literally been playing for like 4 years. Like
MMR did carry over from Overwatch 1. MMR did carry over from Overwatch 1, which a lot of people did complain about, and a lot of people did accept because it is like
you know who accepted it? The people who were like fucking Diamond and Grandmaster. Yeah,
true.
Like they're like, I don't want to regrind it all shit. I want to be flat off the bat.
But yeah, no, people. That's basically what it is. But they're adding a lot of stuff back in, which is kind of nice. They also did reduce the price of skins as well from like, for example, Legendary, except being $20. Legendary is now like only like $13.
Well, the thing is, it was 20 US, so it was 40 Australian.
It was So
how much is it? $10?
It's gone down from 1,900 now to like 1,300. Don't quote me on that, but it's like that.
So it's $20.
So it's dropped to
So,
like something.
so it's how much skins in every other game basically function. So now they're not completely overpricing people.
It's now
they're only at the gold standard of overpricing people.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a gold standard of overpricing.
I gotta say, I feel like when they do these blog posts, they're almost on the defensive, where they're like, "No, actually, you're wrong." Like I saw someone on Twitter say like because people were complaining about having the characters have to with the free pass, you got to get to level rank 50 or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned they were like, well, actually, on day 2, a free player unlocked Ramatra. It's like, great, okay, so you're talking about the literal top 0.1 fucking percent of players getting that, and that's how you're gonna defend the fact that it's level 50. Like, fuck off. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are we using like the tiniest little fucking use case as a way to I don't know.
The Twitter
earthquake, we're having an earthquake.
The Twitter Overwatch is definitely a very like the Overwatch count is very defensive. I would say I do agree with that. The Overwatch count,
but they're right. Like, why are they using that as a use case to be like, well, you just need to grind. You need to fucking literally not go outside for 48 hours and play nothing but Overwatch. It is and do well to get enough XP to get to rank 50. Like,
it's a very defensive.
Like that's what you're gonna maybe say. What's the average? Maybe give us averages on what the how long it takes the typical player, and then say, well, it's actually this. But you know what? They wouldn't give that because it's probably really hard.
Because it works against what they're doing.
Exactly. It's literally it's cherry picking data. Like it's actually bad statistics. Like
no, very much so. I would heavily agree with that. Yeah, no, it's not the best. It's not the best, especially with that. But like, luckily the blog posts don't really do that. They just kind of state it and then move on. They're not really saying like, oh, like this is fine.
But the whole like actually like I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way where I was like, oh come on, dude. Like just say this is what we've done. You know, this is what we've chosen. Don't even. I think it would have been better if they just said nothing instead of just being like, well, actually, like don't actually the community when you're doing that. Like it just comes across as like, exactly.
With like the MMR and whatnot, with the MMR.
No. Just with this the Ramatra that someone got it on day 2 of being on the free pass. It's like, okay, great. You had like one case where someone did it in 2 days.
No, that makes sense.
How many hours of those 48 hours did they play? Probably 48 hours. Yeah, exactly.
They probably did a lot of it. They probably did.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would agree.
I saw that and I was like, oh, that's gross. Like I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like,
there is definitely a little bit of a defensive with it, but like. Yeah, I think it's definitely moving to a better spot. There's still a lot of issues. With the game. Yeah. No, it's done now.
There we go. There's the last part. A lot of issues.
A lot of issues.
Overwatch 2. A lot of issues.
The gameplay is gone.
It's disappeared. It is gone. Next week, no Overwatch. You can talk about it when season 3 comes out.
Season 3 comes out next week.
No, it doesn't.
No. Yeah,
it comes out February 7th, which is next week. But fuck.
The trailer has already been announced. The trailer
4 weeks of Overwatch in a row. I don't think the viewers can handle
it.
I just think no one cares.
Yeah. No, I will.
No, it's all right. You can talk about Overwatch 3. That's fine. And
Overwatch 3.
Overwatch 3. Season 3.
There is going to be other games. I already talked to you boys about some of them. So yeah.
Good.
Yes.
I like to hear about other games.
Yes.
Other games are good.
Yes,
other games are good. Other games are fantastic.
Yes.
Speaking of other games,
are we getting onto it? Are we going to do this?
We're going to get onto it.
Okay, Jamie, you're the one that came up with this idea, so I think you.
Oh, sure, I can intro it. Yeah, sure. So, this year is rare, right? So typically, you get some Nintendo exclusives that are really good, that are going to be like Game of the Year contenders. Lots of years, you get PlayStation exclusives that are Game of the Year contenders. Rarely do you get maybe like the It game from all 3, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. Notice how I didn't say Microsoft has like Game of the Year contenders because they kind of don't.
Not usually.
Although Halo Infinite was my Game of the Year for 2021, but that was kind of a rough year for games in general. Anyway, so yeah, we have Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, Legend of Zelda. We've got Starfield, and we've got Spider-Man 2. I'd say that those are all pretty fucking massive games.
Strong contenders, very strong contenders.
Do we want to talk? Which one do we want to talk about first?
I think Starfield probably. Like that one's the nice.
That's the dark horse.
Yeah, that
the
is
comeback
the
kid. The one that I think we have probably the lowest expectations for. maybe.
100%.
Would you say?
100%.
Yeah. So I guess where do we want to start with this, right? Like, what do we think? I feel like this is a Nathan game in and out,
Oh yeah.
right?
If this
Like
game's good, I'm
it's almost
spending
made
my life.
exactly for Nathan. Like it is a
Yes.
Bethesda RPG with almost like a No Man's Sky esque,
Grinding system and ship mechanics.
you know, kind of gameplay system. I don't know. Like
Space Fallout.
I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people say like, "Hey, this is not anything like Starfield." I mean, it's not anything like No Man's Sky. It's a little bit like No Man's Sky, just like a little bit, you know. You got this like almost infinite galaxy. You got the space travel. You've got the base building.
Can I just say I have not seen any gameplay of this game before?
Hey, really?
You have
I
it,
have
really? So this
not.
is brand new to
You
you.
said
first time I've
this
seen
is a
this.
fucking exclusive, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows, movies, and games that I will purposefully just not see anything for because
Yeah.
I don't want
I'm
to know
sorry.
anything about it.
I'm sorry. You're gonna know some stuff. You're gonna know some things.
I would have seen it eventually before it comes out.
That's
it's fine,
true.
but, yeah.
Yeah. So they showed this at E3. The stuff we're showing on screen, if you're watching the gameplay, they showed this at E3. Or their Microsoft show that happened in June. And I was actually pleasantly surprised with this. I think this looks great. I like No Man's Sky. I like previous Bethesda RPGs. I think if you mash them together, I think you're gonna make something that's not so much revolutionary. Like I don't think this is gonna like change the way I look at games, right? It's not gonna be one of those games where I like show like relatives of like this is what games can be, you know? You know, there's
Definitely
those
not.
games like The Last of Us Part 2 was one of those games, and like what I you know like any of those narrative like Sony games, I feel like you can be like this is look, this is what gaming is, right?
Yeah.
Starfield is probably not going to be that game, but
Oh,
I
I'm
could
gonna
see
lose myself in
myself.
this.
I mean, you're literally gathering materials like No Man's Sky. You're base building. You can build your own spaceship.
Oh,
Yeah. You can build your own
Plus, you have
spaceship.
the morality system from a Fallout game or a Skyrim game. You have different kind of factions that you can do missions for. You have, I think it's literally 100 galaxies with thousands of planets to explore. Each explorable, fully formed. They use a procedural generation system plus handpicking, you know, fixing it up and stuff. Like I don't think this is going to be a bad game.
I don't think so.
I think the only thing that is gonna maybe undercut it for me is if it has any severe kind of optimization issues, or you know, I was gonna say or if it's like Fallout 4, but like it's not gonna be right.
Look,
Like it's like the thing with Fallout 4 was for me it was too similar to Fallout 3, and I felt like I've been there, done that. There wasn't enough new stuff. But I think even just the Starfield's visual look is different enough, and space travel is cool enough that like.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
feel like
definitely different enough in so many ways that you won't feel like even if it is similar, you won't feel like it's the same.
I think
I
most
think
people
it
are
looks pretty spectacular, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like looking at this now, like
I think most people are in the same boat that I am. We're like Fallout 76 type of situation. So you're kind of like optimistic, but like, you know, you moderate yourself in a sense. Like you don't
yeah,
get too hyped.
like I know, you know, obviously they put Bethesda Game Studios' name on Fallout 76, but they didn't really develop it. It was mainly Bethesda Game Studios was sort of almost consulting on this on Fallout 76, whereas I think I can't remember the studio that did Fallout 76, but it was a different Bethesda studio. It wasn't the one that brought you Skyrim and Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and Morrowind and Oblivion.
Look,
So this is what they've been working on since Fallout 4.
I'm
Right? So it's
definitely
been, you know,
I'm definitely excited.
look at that
There
man. There he is.
Todd!
Rendered in engine.
I will.
This is
one
sort
thing-
of they showcase this area as like one of the main hub areas of the game.
Is this
looks
a
big.
multiplayer game or is this a single player game?
No, single player.
Single
Player
Good,
through and
good,
through.
good.
Which I'm actually
thing-
happy about
Tick
because I
that
feel like when you
box,
add
it's good.
multiplayer, it's
One thing I'm
goes
excited
wrong.
about. One thing I'm excited
Yeah.
about with this game is
Mhm.
that I love like New World. I love No Man's Sky.
I love New World.
I love
No
No
Man's
I
Sky,
love
yeah.
No Man's Sky, and I'm excited for a game similar in a sense, like it's spacecraft flying different galaxies, but it's hyper realistic, like this. You know what I mean? Like No Man's Sky is very cartoonish, while this is like has a more realistic graphics. I'm
It
not saying
definitely
the
is going
game-
for more of a photorealistic look. Although I will say, and this can change, but some of the faces look a bit like this.
well, yeah,
Could be
yeah,
like
this,
a new coat of paint over a Fallout 4 player
It's
model.
very Bethesda. Yeah.
it's very
But it is Bethesda.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think like that's just almost this is just their workflow. This is how the games look. Because they put in all the effort isn't so much in the facial animations and maybe even the animation itself. It's more in losing yourself in the world and immersing you in a new kind of space.
I am perfectly
me, Tom.
fine. I am perfectly fine for a game that is like an amazing RPG where you can travel around, looks beautiful, the gameplay is amazing, and the faces are a little bit crappy. I'm okay
Definitely
with
a step up, but yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
It's definitely it is definitely a step up from Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Definitely a step up from
definitely
Fallout
3.
3. And even Fallout 76 where they had like 4 times the detail, which was bullshit. But anyway.
4 times the resolution, maybe not the detail of animation.
Yeah, no, it was 16 times the detail. That's right. That's 16 times the detail of
16
Fallout 4.
times.
I don't know how you can quantify that, and definitely didn't look
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, man. Even looking at this now, because I haven't seen this in ages, like this just looks like something I want to get lost in. Like it's gonna consume like a month or two at least of my time. And it's probably gonna consume years of Nathan.
Yeah, you won't see me again.
Yeah, this is it. This is Nathan goes in, he
spent
doesn't come out.
Hundreds of
get
hours in
divorced.
Fallout 4's base building. Just
Dude,
like going around the world
and-
to build my base.
Oh man, I can't wait to build my own ship, dude. I can't wait. Like I can even skip along a little bit, but like there's a full like UI.
breakdown of the ships. Yeah, one thing I
Yeah,
will
look,
say.
here it is.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
god.
and you
Every
fully take
component
it
can be
apart.
customized and changed, and you add to
And it
it, and then
changes
that
the
is
way
your
that it
ship. That
works.
is your ship that you get to fly around in. Change the
One thing-
colors.
One thing I would say,
sick.
and
So
I think
cool.
it'd be really funny. Like Nathan just disappears for a couple of years. Like Jamie, you never see him. You go check
It goes
on
back
him.
and
And,
says Starfield Game of the Year 2023, and we're like, sir, it's
Yeah.
been 3 years. It's
It's
2026.
2030.
we don't see him. He comes back and like he's been divorced, just didn't even notice. Like he's just been in his basement, just like playing the game
He
nonstop.
disappeared.
When's this
He
game
went off
coming
the
out?
grid. There is no release date, but they said first half of this year.
Yeah, they did.
So
We'll
we
see.
could potentially be 4 months away from this game.
Could
You know?
be. Scary.
I think it still drops in June.
I could see it.
I
could see
think
it.
it's a June release. Like when we, obviously last week we talked about, or 2 weeks. When did we talk about Minecraft Legends? Last week.
last week.
It's been a long week.
Been 4 days.
Those dates are sort of cemented, and everything is sort of away from June, except for Redfall, which is like early May. To the where I think that's on purpose, where they're just like, let's move everything away, and have Starfield take up the winter
Yeah.
or summer if you're in America.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a sleeper hit, and it's weird to say that, but sleeper hit in terms of like Bethesda RPGs is for me a hit or miss. Where like
Yes.
I haven't truly enjoyed a Bethesda RPG since Fallout 3, but I think this is different enough. That and it's not Elder Scrolls that I don't know. I think I'm gonna really enjoy this game, and I think it's gonna be really high up on my list of favorite games this year. I really do.
I am definitely cautiously optimistic about this game. Very much so.
And
very much
it's
so.
just so easy because it's on Game Pass. Like
It is so.
that just
easy
makes
with
this
that.
it's such an easy sell. It's like shit. I mean, there's no reason why I wouldn't try it, right? Like
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
My
No
only
price
major
tag attached.
concerns are the scope, like the procedural generation, and how much they've actually dug into it.
that is also my concern.
And normal Bethesda bugs. How many, and how big are they going to be?
Exactly.
Like they show here's one galaxy, and then all the planets are explorable, and you can scan them and do all this stuff. And there's missions and bases and different structures in each planet.
Boing, boing,
And
boing.
then they just
Galaxy
keep going out.
Boing, boing,
Sorry, galaxy,
system.
and then it just goes out, and there's hundreds of galaxies, all with different
Systems?
planets.
Not galaxies.
Sorry, systems.
Boing, boing, boing.
Oh my god, earthquake
We're having an
alert.
earthquake.
Fucking- oh jeez. Yeah, I think this looks fantastic. I can't wait. I cannot wait to fucking just max out all the settings,
It's gonna be
play
great.
this beautiful world, and just lose myself in it.
It's gonna be great.
That being said, though, it is the lowest on my list of these
Very
three
much
games.
so.
Like that's the thing. I guess that goes to show how good these next 2 games are.
Now-
That this is, even though I'm super high on this and I think it's going to be really great, I do think
Before we
at
get
least
into
the previous games of these 2 games have hit way harder for me than
100%.
like Fallout 4 did.
I want to ask,
Mhm.
which game out of these next 2, out of Zelda and Spider-Man, are you guys more excited for?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? I'm Spider-Man as well. Nathan?
Yeah, I enjoy a more linear story that's easier to work through.
I gotta say, we can actually talk. We'll talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think fucking Insomniac doesn't miss, man.
They
They
don't
just don't.
miss.
They just don't. They literally don't miss. They've released. I mean, since Spider-Man 2018, they've released 3 games.
Yeah.
And they're releasing a game this year. 5 games in 5 years, and they're so good. Like Spider-Man 2018, Miles Morales, fantastic. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, fantastic. So it's 4 games. Sorry, 4 games in 5 years. My bad. Yeah, like they really don't miss, and they've just got this incredible knack for gameplay,
Knack?
Knack?
just like Knack does.
Knack?
Just Knack has an incredible knack for gameplay, and like it's just this is the culmination of like I feel like what they learned from Spider-Man 2018, what they learned from Miles Morales, and you just like I don't know. The only thing I will say is I'm wondering how much has changed because
Mhm.
Spider-Man 2018's formula was so good and Miles Morales was such a great extension of that I do wonder like what is going to kind of signify that this is a sequel, like putting the number 2 on it. That does, I don't know. It to me it means something more so than like Miles Morales was, and I wonder what additions they've made that warrant that 2 and warrant it being PS5 only. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder.
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. They've obviously had a bit of a more of a think than I would, but
Yes.
I would even be totally okay if it was just how the last 2 were because they were great games. But
Here's the thing. I think this is going to be a God of War Ragnarok situation where it's just be quality of life.
You think it's going to be like more of an evolution as opposed to a revolution?
100%. Like it worked great. It was amazing. It was really fun. I don't see them changing it too much.
Is that a bit disappointing?
Was God of War?
Because the thing with God of War Ragnarok, right, is that it is like almost, I can't say objectively because that's it's an opinion, but I think it is like almost everything about it is better than the first God of War game.
100%.
But that game was also only on PS4 and PS5. So right, you need to like you can't scale it up too much because you're also running on last gen. You're running on a 2013 system.
That's a great point. Point.
And so for what that is, like I think they did a great job, and honestly, like I think that was the right move for that game because you don't want to change up too much because then like then you might piss people off, right? You just do what worked, and then you kind of continue. I feel like Insomniac might be a little more daring than that. Than maybe Sony Santa Monica. Because I honestly think Ragnarok was being built as a PS4 game, and then PS5 came out, and then they shifted,
100%.
to making it a PS5 game. Whereas I think this was from the get-go, it was going to be PS5 only because they had Miles Morales, which was their cross-gen game. And now this is, only releasing on PS5.
Yeah,
I could see really cool stuff happening with like switching characters mid-fight.
I was gonna say something like that could be interesting, where you could switch characters,
like GTA 5 style.
Yeah, GTA 5. Or I was even thinking like Guardians of the Galaxy. That was like the one that came to my head pretty quickly, where you can like combo.
Where you sort of do moves with other characters.
Yeah, you can like.
I think they might go deeper than that.
Oh no,
because I did like it for Guardians, but I think I definitely think you would like. I would be shocked if the majority of the game isn't Miles and Peter working together in missions, and where you kind of switch. Either the player is switching, like they have independence over.
Yeah, do you think it would be more like the game forces you to switch, like GTA 5 kind of feel, or do you think you can switch at any point?
I think there will be moments where it'll force you to switch because they want you to see a certain thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think like if it's a general, like just a normal encounter where you're fighting a bunch of people at once, I think that might be where maybe in the open world you can switch at will. Maybe that's where you have that kind of autonomy, or you have the player choice. And then in campaign missions, I mean, similar to GTA 5, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it was in missions, they're like very specific. Like you're playing as Michael now you're playing as Trevor. It might be a similar situation. I could see that being the kind of the big change, because in this trailer, it's obviously a teaser, but they are kind of showing these two together fighting.
Together. Yeah,
could be co-op.
I was gonna say, hear me out, okay?
I don't know.
Perfect world,
dude. Don't get my hopes up. That'd be so sick.
That would be so.
But that'd be cool.
Yeah, as I said, perfect world. I don't think it's gonna be a thing.
I feel like you do lose something though.
Yeah.
When it becomes co-op.
Oh, you do lose something definitely.
the immersion a little bit.
Really I think it would be really fun.
It would be fun. Maybe a mode. You know, like Ghost of Tsushima had their,
yeah.
Single player, but then you've got the 4-player.
Yeah,
I don't
cool.
know.
Really cool. And also Venom. Venom is just like gonna be sick.
Venom and Kraven the Hunter. Yeah. Cool
gonna be
villains.
sick. Yeah.
I mean, this game is gonna hit. Like it's almost like a guarantee. Like I think of all the games releasing this year, I think this is the one. Oh my god.
Marvel's Wolverine.
Autoplay Andy.
Go!
Bro, I gotta turn this off.
There you go.
There we go.
Buddy.
It's gone. It's gone. I found a new button. Yeah, no, I think of all the games releasing this year, this one isn't the sure bet. Where it's just there's no way it's bad.
Easily.
It's like it's a guaranteed 90 plus. Like
all they have to do is just keep doing what they've been doing.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe they'll do a Last of Us Part 2 thing where they just kill off Peter Parker in the first mission.
Bro, they could do that. I didn't even think about that.
They're just like, yo, Venom fucking unleashed, fucking wipes kills Peter Parker.
That could be pretty. Look, like it could be.
Dude, I could not deal with another fucking sequel discourse of killing the main character. Please, God, no! Please don't do that again. I can't defend another game like that, like I did for Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
But it was a strong woman that killed.
Oh my god! Where's the golf club?
Where's the golf club?
Alrighty. I do think Peter Parker is going to be the one to get the symbiote. Like you make him in the black suit, right? Like it's like that's happening.
100%.
And then that's obviously a new gameplay style, like new moves.
And then we need
maybe a new skill tree. Like, this game is gonna, dude. I'm just thinking about this game is gonna fucking slap.
Do you think Miles would get the symbiote, and Peter would have to be like a caring father for him, and he'd like?
No, I think.
Dude, you know what? That's what they're going for. Miles is gonna get the symbiote, and it's gonna be Peter's. 100%. You fucking nailed that. That's like almost a guarantee, I think.
And he's like worried about the power
from like a story perspective.
Yeah.
I do hope. What is that? I do hope that Spider-Man gets it, and then we see him dancing down the street like in the movie.
Which Spider-Man? They're both Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry.
Peter Parker.
As long as whoever gets it does the dance.
They need to do the dance.
There has to be at least an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Where like while you have this, either when you're like maybe playing as the character like out of the suit,
or you
maybe in like and if you walk down a certain area, you do the dance.
Yeah, he starts doing a dance. That'd be great. Because it was shit like that in Spider-Man 1, where like after you like save some people or something like that, you could like walk into a crowd and like high five people and shit. You know what I mean? So like,
I think you could do that at any point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was contextual. Like if you were on the ground, you could just walk up to people and and just say hi to them and take photos and
walk down the street and just like bang.
I also think like obviously the world is going to be bigger. Obviously.
100%.
It might be like maybe not all of New York, but like obviously the part of 2018 plus, a good chunk more because they can do that. I wonder if they'll make the web swinging faster because now you can load in assets quicker with an SSD.
I definitely think they're gonna make the web swinging faster. They're gonna update it, make it feel more fluid, even though it felt so fluid.
Because I remember when
it will have a power that lets you go faster.
Go really fast, maybe. Because I will say, when they showed like they were like the early sort of PS5 teasing, one of the like tech demos they showed was Spider-Man PS4, like the camera speed when you're swinging on PS4, and then they showed it on PS5, and you just fucking whiz through it, and the stuff's loading naturally.
So the whole world is rendered constantly.
Yeah. I remember they showed where like he was in like a warehouse, like fighting some people, and then he used a vent to get out. And in PS4, it was like a loading screen, but in PS5, he was
instantly out. Yeah, with Miles Morales, that's right.
Yeah, because I played Miles Morales on PS4 and PS5. Right. And there was a big difference.
100%.
Definitely a big difference. 60 FPS makes a difference too.
I always forget how powerful the PS5 actually is. I keep forgetting.
It's so funny that you say that because like I'm starting to see like how not underpowered it is, but how many concessions developers are having to make with those consoles. Particularly to keep 60 FPS.
Doesn't take long.
Yeah,
only a few years.
It catches up pretty quickly, but like compared to like a PS4, there was a big jump.
Definitely. Like, yeah, absolutely. It was. I feel like the first year or so was like the golden age of these consoles, where it's like every game 60 FPS, every game's running at like the best settings possible.
Now it's like the 4090 exists, and they're like,
it's like, will I get something on PS5 where I have to play at 60 FPS and it's not 4K native and you don't get ray tracing, or can I just fucking max everything out and not even have to use any upscaling on 4090 and be fine? Like,
with PC constantly gaining more and more power,
it was bound to happen.
it's bound to happen. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I still think those. I'm glad that there are still games that are doing 60 FPS because
Finally, my $5,000 computer is better than a $500 console.
yeah, bro. That I fucking hate people like that. They're like, well, my fucking 9K PC can do better than that. It's like, yeah, well, no shit.
Yeah, no.
If it didn't,
shit.
I think I'd be wanting a refund.
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Like Zelda, I am still really excited for, but I do think Spider-Man 2 is at the top of my list in terms of.
100%.
I don't know. I just can't wait to experience another story, you know, and
I'd have to
play
agree.
more as Spider-Man and
In
Miles
a
Morales
perfect
and-
world, it's Starfield, but my reservations about the game have it a little bit lower.
Yes.
I know that Spider-Man's going to be good, so it's up the top
Like,
for me.
When
absolutely.
I first played Spider-Man and you web swing and you hear the music going on in the background and shit.
Oh, dude, that
the
intro is so
first
sick.
time- Yeah, the first time I was immediately like, holy shit. Like you could immediately tell that this is just gonna be really, really good. Like immediately.
You know, I will say, I kind of wish they kept that theme of cool rock music playing as you were playing the game, because that's the only time it happens.
It
Yeah.
does.
Which I thought was weird. It's like, cool, you got this cool moment, but it never really hits the same.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
you know, that's maybe something they should do in Spider-Man 2. Add more music segments.
100%.
So there's cool
100%.
music happening.
You know, be cool.
Do a Death
if-
Stranding thing.
Like, you'd be cool if you could customize the music. Maybe they might
Yeah.
do something like that where you can actually
Do you get like an
customize-
MP3 player?
Like, yeah,
I don't
well,
know why
like,
it's an MP3 player. But...
well, you know how you see like I don't know, like Into Spider-Verse, like Miles Swing out, like listen to music.
That's kind of what I'm
Like that.
imagining is
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining,
Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
putting
I
in
think
putting in earbuds and then you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
that'd be kind of. I really like that. I
that'd be
like that a
cool,
lot.
right?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah, no, I
okay.
think this game is. I feel like I can't say enough good things because like Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales are both like fucking.
It's an
games,
easy hit.
basically.
This is one of the only games where I'm like, yeah, this is easy. I know it's going to do well.
I'm
like,
hoping it still hits this year.
oh, 100%.
Still got the 2023 dates.
Yeah.
Haven't seen anything since this trailer that's showing in the video version. Like, could it get delayed? Sure, but I feel like Sony doesn't really have anything else other than this year that I can. I mean, they got Final Fantasy 16, but that's in June, so you know, nothing for like end of year. And also,
Yeah.
there was that PlayStation ad recently.
There
Where
was.
that was actually real, Nathan, by the way, the one that we saw at the
Yeah, I
end.
thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was real, and I actually saw when I was walking to work today, there was like a live on PS5 advert on a billboard. So and it had Spider-Man 2 on it. So
Yep.
Nice.
they're definitely
Nice.
marketing this. I think I definitely think it's probably more likely it comes this year than it doesn't.
I think if they're marketing it, it's going to hit this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
100%.
properly
I just hope we get some
outside.
game. I want to see some gameplay so bad. I actually like that they're not showing. They haven't shown gameplay like years in advance.
Yeah.
We'll get gameplay this year, and then they're like, and it's coming out September.
More devs need to do that.
I
Yeah.
feel like we say that every week. That'd be great. I'd love that.
Yeah, like developers just need to just
I mean, it's not the
Hold it.
developers'
Oh,
fault.
yeah,
It's
that's what I mean.
absolutely
You know what I
publishers
meant.
being like, we need to
Yeah.
hype this shit up. Like, we can't be.
Gotta
we
get
can't
the
be
money in.
Waiting for years and years and years. Yeah, we need the investors investing.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Let's look at our last one.
Yeah,
Let's look at
last
the last
one.
one, which is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I can't believe this game's coming out in 4 months. No, 3 months. Like just
3 months.
just
3 months.
under just over 3 months
Mhm.
away.
Yep.
We have to be hearing about this soon, right? Like they've got to do it
We've
direct.
seen only
Yeah.
one trailer, right? It's only been one trailer, or
It's been 2 trailers. So there was
Two.
the first trailer was the one that just said this is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then this trailer that we're showing on the video version right now is the one where they revealed the title of the game
Okay.
and the date.
okay.
So this was like late last year, maybe mid last year.
Mhm,
Um, yeah, it's funny. Like I think the reason that I wasn't super as hot on Breath of the Wild as I feel like everyone was because I didn't finish it. I only played a little bit of it at launch, and then I got distracted, and then I came back to it in 2018 after it had come out in early 2017, and so I feel like I missed like some of the conversation behind it, and it didn't hit as well because of that. So that's why like this time I'm all in. May 12th.
yeah.
Yeah,
12 to 14,
cannot
something like
wait.
that. Yeah, very.
it makes it
exciting.
look like it's
Very
5th of
exciting.
December, but it's US date. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm actually curious to see. Holy fuck. I'm curious to see what is new they showed some like different kind of mechanics there in the trailer. But I do wonder if this will be sort of like an iterative sequel as opposed to something revolutionary like Breath of the Wild was.
It feels like it
Um,
might be like that, yeah, where they make like a big change to like the map, but most other stuff stays at least kind of similar.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
sort of teased, like the first trailer sort of teased the underground, so I feel like
Hmm.
that's going to play a big part. And now in this trailer, they're teasing like the skies.
Yeah.
So I feel like you'll almost have the same kind of map with obviously some revisions, some changes, some new areas, some new things to discover. Because I mean, like the discoverability of the game and discovery aspects, I guess, was like the biggest part. I'd say it's the part that was the coolest, where you climb a
Yeah.
mountain and you're like, oh shit, there's that over there, and I see that and that and that. Um, I mean, this does look pretty fucking great.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
just like skydiving in, and then you see Hyrule down below, and then you can go up into the clouds, and presumably you're gonna go into some caverns and dungeons down below. Like, I don't know, man. This I feel like this is gonna be. If I had to bet on what will end up being Game of the Year this year, I think it's probably gonna be Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Cool.
Like, maybe not for me personally, but as like an industry wide kind of like award, like the Game Awards, I feel like this is. I mean, if it hits as hard as Breath of the Wild, it's almost a fucking like
Yeah,
it's not
100%.
even a contest.
100%.
It might be another like I guess Elden Ring wasn't so much a shutout because it was sort of a competition between Ragnarok and Elden Ring. But yeah, I feel like Nintendo doesn't really release bad first party games that I can think of. I can't remember the last bad first party game I played, if
Mm,
any.
yeah, no.
Their kind of attention to quality is completely unmatched in the industry, I feel like, to the point where they develop games and they just sit on them, which is crazy. Like I remember
No one
what was
does
it recently? Like Fire Emblem Engage came out in January and the game was rated in Australia in 2021.
Whoa.
So it was
Oh,
done. It was done
okay.
like 2 years ago. And they
There
were
you
just
go.
like, "Oh, we don't have to release this now. We've got our lineup ready." And they just like sat on it and then like, "Okay, now's a good time to release it." Like that's
They don't feel the
fucking
pressure of having
that
to
is
be at the cutting edge all the time.
Dude, so ballsy.
completely
That's
unheard
insane.
of.
That's
Yeah.
Where it's
insane.
like I feel like a lot of games when they release is like that is the very last moment of where
Has to
like
hit
they're
now,
happy with it. Yeah,
otherwise it's
exactly.
irrelevant.
Like I think I remember watching the God of War documentary and how that game really only came together in the last 3 weeks
It did.
before
Yeah.
release. Like they were
That's
worried
honestly.
about it.
I
Like they had
rewatched
a Sony executive play it and he was like a 2 months before and he was like, "This is awful.
it.
Like you need to change
I
this and this."
I
It was like, "That's
remember
fucking
when
crazy, man. Imagine being 2 months after on the release date."
That's
And
scary.
Sony
they did the
executive,
reveal.
like, no, this is dog shit. Like you need to fix this.
I remember the documentary when they showed it, when they did the reveal. It was literally like they it was still broken and they were like, please work. When he was like playing the game, it was like,
Yeah, yeah.
please work.
When they showed it at E3, like because
Yeah,
those
Adrian's
demos,
still
like
working.
they get finished like down to the wire.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember the Uncharted 4 demo at E3, and Drake is just sitting in the same spot for like 4 minutes
hmm
because
hmm
it just the controller wasn't the inputs
Wasn't
weren't
working.
working.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think it ended up being like the controller batteries were just out or like it wasn't connected correctly. But they had like the kind of the secret to E3 demos is they actually have a backup running in real time in case something goes wrong in the first copy, and they quickly switch to the second copy in case like the game crashes or whatever. So they
Yeah.
switched that, and then it worked. So
Okay.
it's crazy
good.
how they like how much effort goes into like presenting a game for like it's like an ad, right? It's
Yeah.
there's a kind of a mastery to it. But yeah.
Hey, E3 this year, not looking too hot.
Oh yeah. Ooh, can't wait
Mm.
to not see Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation at that.
Exactly. It's
Realistically,
gonna be
they're probably
great.
like Xbox will have their thing around E3 anyway, but they're just not going
100%.
to officially be at it. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like if I was, I probably wouldn't be buying tickets for E3 because
No,
like a
not this year.
public can
Not
go
this
to it.
year.
Like there's no even 2019, I wouldn't. Like I don't know. It's just it's not even though you can as a public person go to E3, it's just not the same as when if you're in the industry and you go because you don't get to see the behind closed door stuff. You just see
Mm.
like random demos that are on the show floor that aren't as cool as the stuff behind closed doors. Like anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Um, I am tentatively excited about Tears of the Kingdom.
I will get
I'd
back to
say
you
that's
next
my
week.
final like call on it.
I will get back to you next week if I'm excited or not after I play it.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I think Breath of the Wild is gonna change your life. Like,
yeah.
I really do think like it is a phenomenal game. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do think it was just a wrong place, wrong time for me when I played it. Honestly.
Okay.
But I think like now that there's not much out that you want to play, playing Breath of the Wild will be like this is the perfect time to do it for
Yeah,
sure.
100%. 100%. Okay. I am excited.
Yeah, so I if I was gonna rank these, I'd probably go Spider-Man, Zelda, Starfield.
I would agree. That's mine as well.
Yeah.
100%.
You think you still Starfield in number 3, Nathan?
Yeah, like I would really like it to be at the top, but I have, it's Bethesda things.
It's Bethesda. Anything
Yeah.
can really go wrong.
Yeah.
It could also get
Exactly.
delayed like 12 months. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Like fuck. I mean, tomorrow we could wake up and there's a notice saying Starfield delayed to 2024. That would be
Just
so
discontinue.
devastating.
Just
God, I
discontinue.
hope. I'll be
Discontinue.
very sad because I don't know what else Xbox has this year. Although they had Hi-Fi Rush, so I don't think they need anything else. Anyway, do we want to get to our brand spanking new segment?
Yeah.
New segment. Okay. Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
Basically, what we decided to do was, as a collective group, each of us each week would bring one game to the table. And we're going to rank those games. So this week we're doing 3 because, well, yeah, I was going to explain this.
Yeah,
week we're
that's
doing
right. That's
3
right. Sorry.
Because Nathan's not going to be here for the next 2 weeks because
Yes.
he's going on vacation.
Oh, he's having a life or some shit. Fucking
Yeah,
loser.
dude, piece of shit. So this week we're
Take
doing
your Switch with
3.
you, pussy.
I will.
So this week we're doing 3 games each, and then we're going to rank the games. So these are our like individually favorite games, and then we're going to
Gonna
rank
get
them
bloody.
against each other, and it's going to be interesting. This is definitely going to be interesting.
Well, as I said, I feel like we're just gonna want to rank our games, like
Look.
our games at the top. But
No,
but
I can
feel like
see some of the ones that you guys will choose being way better than mine.
I feel
Look,
like there's gonna be some
I-
crossover.
Yeah,
In terms of like interest, not so much like we both choose the same game or whatever. I don't know. At least I hope you didn't choose any games that I chose because
I have about 6
I
games.
don't have any backups.
Yeah,
But
I
I
have
can
about
think of
6
one. I can
games.
think of some.
I have 6
You got
games.
6 games? Okay, you guys were way better
got
playing
8.
than I was.
I
8 games.
look. I'm gonna start off. Now, I don't think you guys are gonna rank this very high. I've already explained this is my favorite game of all time. Love this
Nier
game.
Automata.
Nier Automata. Yeah.
Automata.
Look, I just want it on the list. I don't give a shit where. I just want it on the list because I do
Does not
generally
exist.
think it
How do you
does not
spell it?
exist. N-E-I-R.
Oh,
And an auto.
Oh yeah.
Automata.
what?
Hold on.
This game not exist?
No. It's N-I-E-R. Yeah, automata.
NIER.
Space.
You could just put in.
Why is it not? It should show up by now.
Automata.
Not showing up. Damn, bro. Game I love. It's not even
Wait,
a
what?
game.
Like if I
Automata.
what?
And none of it's showing up.
Okay.
Wait,
Bro,
doesn't
what is
it
going
show up in
on
the
with
end?
this? It's nice when you.
Oh no, we're having.
No, we're good. Type your first game. Oh, okay. Wait, maybe I have to search for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
to sign in. Hold on.
Okay.
Joking,
Okay.
so-
But yeah, look, I don't mind if this. Oh, do we want to wait and start back up or?
Huh?
Yep. I don't mind this being like low on the list, like top 50. I don't give a shit. I just want it on the list because I do genuinely think it is one of
There
the
we go.
best.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
do think it's one of the best games. Genuinely.
Oh,
Still not
what?
showing up.
Hello? Does this
What?
game not exist?
Wait, oh, there you go. There you
There
go.
it is. There it is. That's it. Nier Automata, right there.
Well, that's the DLC. But anyway,
Oh.
That's fine. I don't care.
it doesn't matter. We know what it is. We know what it is. It was
Yeah.
the first option. It doesn't have.
Yes.
I don't think it has the.
But yeah, that's my first pick. I don't really mind where we put that. Like that could be bottom right now. It's not there.
Bro, I tested this for like 10 minutes to make
No,
sure it
that's
fucking
right.
worked.
URL
Oh my god.
unfound, not found.
That's funny.
We
That's
just
great.
have
Okay,
objective difficulty. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
exactly. But yeah, I do think it's there.
No, I definitely think Nier Automata deserves to be on this list.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Cool.
It doesn't
Fine.
matter. It doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
we
On
can
the
see. We can see
fucking
it.
list.
Yeah. Alrighty. We'll go, Jamie. You next. What do you?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put. I'm gonna. I've got 3. I'm gonna choose The Last of Us Part 1. I'm
Yeah.
putting this on the list.
Haven't played it
And
yet.
this is probably one of the best stories in games. I think there was a bit of controversy with that one, because people said, well, Last of Us is very much like a kind of a narrative that you kind of experience. It's not something that the player's kind of directing, which I would say Nier Automata is one where it's sort of player directed in a way that Last of Us isn't. But in terms of like from a technical aspect and even just the writing itself, I think it's pretty fucking great, and I think it deserves to be in the top 100 games of all time.
Would agree if I played it.
Yeah, you never played it, you bitch.
Haven't played it yet.
I'm on a PC next month, so
It is.
there's
That is
time.
true.
There's time
That
to
is
play
true.
it. Nathan, what's your first game?
Continuing on the same vein, let's just add The Last of Us Part 2 then.
Hell yeah! Oh
Okay.
hell yeah!
Yep,
Now, which ones above? Like, how do they rank? Like,
We'll see. We'll have to
holy
see.
shit! That's
Well,
I'm surprised this is on here this early. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna put part 2 on eventually, but I was gonna put it on like later. But like, they're both here
I'm
now.
surprised
Okay.
you guys put those both on now. I'm very surprised you put them both on now.
I mean, they were both gonna be here.
Oh yeah,
I feel
for
like.
sure.
100% both gonna be.
Okay,
here.
what's next? What's next, Ben?
I'm thinking like, look, if I look down my list, I'm looking down like some of my favorite games. I'm going to have to put this is a hard choice between two of them, but I'm gonna have to put God of War 2018 first. I'll say that one first. I think Ragnarok's definitely going on as well, but 2018, I think that is definitely.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough to be there. That is definitely. I would put that there.
I love how most of these are Sony exclusives.
Well, let's not do a Sony exclusive next.
Yep.
I am gonna pick Portal 2.
Good choice.
That was on my list.
That
Very
was
nice.
also on my list. That was also on my list.
All right. And then what's next?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Good choice. That was on my
Ooh,
list.
Okay.
That was on my list.
Easily.
You think 2's better than 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this one's a little more spicy. I'm thinking more of like a revel because of how much it just impacted the world. I'm putting Grand Theft Auto 5.
All right.
Okay.
I think it definitely.
I can agree with that. I think.
I think it's definitely until 100. I don't know about like where it is now, but I'm putting it on there.
Yeah,
I'm putting
okay.
it on comfortably.
My last game is Resident Evil 2, specifically the remake, if that's an option.
Good choice.
Yeah,
But if it's not showing up there, then Resident Evil 2, it's the remake. So it's the original there. That's fine.
Let's just put a fucking
You see
comment
that?
on
that is the remake specifically
the
because I haven't played the
remake.
original, and I think the original probably doesn't really hold up very well now.
Cool.
Nathan,
Last game?
What's your last one?
I'm going to pick out of my list. Let's go with Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Ooh, okay. I like
okay.
the variety of genres here.
I am very surprised about the list. I thought we were going to go very.
No, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
I thought we were going to go like a lot more like kind of like all around, but this is actually like at the start pretty good. I think this is good.
Now, who wants to go first in terms of reordering this?
Reordering. Okay. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 should be higher.
Mhm.
I don't know where.
3?
I think 3 is a good pick.
Number 1.
Number 1.
No shot.
I don't-
Absolutely not. I'm gonna put my foot down on number 1. I think number 3 for now is a good spot.
Very comfortable spot for Red Dead Redemption 2. I think
Mhm.
it definitely deserves at least like top 5 right now, like easily. Top 3 is a
Man,
very guaranteed.
I feel like looking at this, I would probably put it. Yeah, we'll leave it at 3 for now.
Yeah, I think 3 for now is a good idea.
I want to put Portal 2 at number 2.
Yeah.
I think it's that good. I think it's like almost a perfect game.
Nier Automata needs to move.
It does.
It does need to move.
No,
Yep.
no, Nier Automata is not the best game of all time.
I
definitely
would
agree.
probably put it at. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'm
for
fine.
For
now.
with
now.
it being-
For
I'm
now,
fine- I'm fine with
we might move Animal Crossing.
What do you? So, where you? What do you? Is that what you? Was that your move, Nathan? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
What do you want to move the game up?
Yeah,
That's
I
your
think
move.
that's fine. I think being in number 8 out of 9 is a decent spot for it right now. Just because it's kind of unfair because obviously 2 of us haven't played it.
Yeah,
But
There's a reason we haven't played it.
I think the impact of these other games is higher
Yeah.
Oh,
than
100%.
Nier Automata.
As I said, Nier Automata is one of my
But
favorite games.
see, I mean,
think it should be top.
if we're judging it on impact, then GTA 5 has to be at number 1, which
Yeah.
I don't
the
think it should be.
So yeah, with Nier Automata,
I'd
I
actually
don't.
bring GTA 5 lower. I think I'd actually put GTA 5 at 9.
I
Personally?
look, yeah, GTA 5 I mainly put on the list just because it did have such a huge
I had
impact
a
on
moment.
everyone.
Like
It,
I've played hundreds of hours of GTA 5.
yeah,
And I
that's
remember
why.
I still remember finishing GTA 5's campaign and loving
Yeah,
it and just
like I
and I tried to go for the 100% and then I was like, yeah, maybe not.
I
But
don't even think GTA 5 in the top 100 will be in like even like the top 40, right? I don't think it's gonna be that high.
no, yeah, I think it'll definitely be on the
But
lower 50.
I think it definitely needs to be in the top 100
It
games of all
definitely
time.
needs to be there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My move, I would probably move God of War to at least number 4 spot. I think God of War was a really good game. I don't know. I don't know because I haven't played Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, so this is like literally off subjective of my own.
It's so
Um,
funny because like I always say God of War was my favorite game of all time for the longest time. But even seeing it above Last of Us Part 2 like makes me itch. Like I don't know, like it's so weird where like
I think
it makes sense
I think part 2 needs to be personally
above Part
above
1.
part 1 for me.
Okay, you know what we'll do? Part 1 goes to number 5, part 2 goes to number 3.
Boom.
I think that is a better.
that's better.
I'm happy. I think God of War 2018 is almost definitively better than the original Last of Us.
Mhm.
Last of Us Part 1.
And then the remake at number 6. Number 7 is Nier Automata. Oh, I think okay. Look. I think we've all played here, and like, I think. Oh, how do I explain this? Animal Crossing is a better overall experience than Nier Automata.
You think?
I,
You think it should
I,
go above?
yeah. I think it's a better
I'm
experience.
happy to move it.
Yeah.
I think it's a better experience.
Good game.
Because you're the champion for Nier Automata, so if anything goes above it, like
Nier
I'm okay. I
Automata,
can agree with
I
that.
think is a better game, but as a better experience, I think Animal Crossing is a better experience. If you know what I mean, that type of thing.
I'm sort of thinking about moving Last of Us Part 2 to number 2. A little bit. Sort of. I don't know if we feel really strong about Red Dead Redemption 2.
No, I liked it more than Red Dead. Yeah.
You liked it more than Red. I really
Yeah.
should play Part 2 then. Holy.
It's just more they're
yeah.
very different games in
Of
the
course.
sense
Yeah.
that part 2 is just it's more up my alley because I feel like it's more like watching a movie or playing a movie.
That is
And
very
that's
true.
more what I prefer in a video game where you just sit down and the game tells you what to do and you
That
just
is
do
true.
it.
I don't want to drag down a game to bring up a game in terms of like just talking like opinions. But the thing with Red Dead Redemption 2 that I think it loses points for me is that it's almost like the narrative and the open world segments are at ends with itself.
Yeah.
Where like it wants you to exist in the world, but then the story also kind of makes you want to rush.
Yeah,
Where
100%.
it feels like it's almost breakneck pace in towards the end of the game, obviously, where you get into the
Definitely. Yeah.
climax, and it feels like it's almost funneling you into sort of a linear experience where when it's also an open world game.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Last of Us Part 2 overall does a better job at marrying gameplay and story. But that being said, like Red Dead 2 at number 3 totally earned it. Like it's still a
I am
phenomenal
okay.
game.
I am okay with that. I'm okay with that. I just need to play it, so I can't really make an opinion on it. But at least I'm as I said, Red Dead for me needs to be at least top 5, like at least. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Oh, it'll definitely stay top 5.
Yeah. Now
I'm happy with this list.
I'm happy with this
I'm
list
actually
right now.
You know, I could see Resident Evil 2 going below Animal Crossing.
The remake, really?
I haven't played RE2, so
Man, the remake is fucking good
Really?
though.
Dude, I think.
But I just think about Animal Crossing and how I just fell in love with that game. And it was almost the same kind of thing where it was a moment like GTA 5. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're even judging it on like that merit. Even from a gameplay perspective, it just
judge
felt
on how you want it.
I'm just
yeah. I mean, I get like I also think like even the time and place where it released was so cathartic. You know, March 2020 was when we all kind of had to get locked up, right?
Mm,
And it just felt like the perfect time for a game like that to exist in a way that kind of transcends just the quality of the game itself, but almost like the outside kind of scenario, you know, the situation we were in,
that is true. That's a good point.
where that holds a special place. And I think that holds a more special place to me than really enjoying Resident Evil 2 when it came out.
True. I could see that. I could see that. That is a very good point. That is a very, very good point. Now I'll ask you boys. We're not gonna add more games to the list.
No.
But I'm very interested. Do you think Portal 2 is gonna stay at number 1?
No.
I don't
Probably
think so.
not.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's a couple more.
Do you think
games
anything on this list? I see. Here's the thing with Portal 2. You know what? I could actually.
For
Now
me
that-
personally, I think it would be moved down, but it's not
What do
because
you
I didn't
think? Where are you
enjoy it.
thinking?
It's just because of the
These other
type of
games are
game that
better,
I enjoy.
for sure.
Yes.
Where would
It's
you
a
move it?
personal thing for
I'm
me.
happy to move it.
Probably
Now that
like
I'm looking at this list,
probably 2 or 3, but
Yeah.
and number 3.
yeah, but that's only because of the
I
games that
probably
I enjoy, not because I think it's better or worse.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree. Seeing it there doesn't sit right with me now. Looking at
Yeah.
these other games here, like looking at the whole perspective, like the whole kind of list, or most of the list, I could see Portal 2 moving to 3 or 4.
That's what I was gonna say. Like
Either
I
or,
think,
and I think God of War is better than Portal 2.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe moving down to 4, and yeah,
Yep.
I think that list is a little better. I like that more. I like that a lot more.
Do you think Last of Us Part 2 is going to stay at number 1?
I don't think it's gonna stay
It
at number 1.
could.
No,
I mean, I don't.
I'd be
To me,
fine with it.
I would
I-
honestly be really okay with that. But then,
I need-
God, I don't know.
I need to buy and play it to actually get. I'll buy
You
it.
should
and
do
play
that.
it, but
Well,
there
the
is-
good thing about part 2 is that now that part 1's coming to PC, part 2 will probably follow this year. I think
Yeah.
it'll come out on
but
PC. So
I think there's some games that are.
this is already a really solid list. I got to say, I feel like
Yeah.
we've nailed it.
I
I feel like a lot of people are going to be really mad at part 2 being number 1, but
Here we fucking go. Yeah.
yeah.
you've got
I-
2 of the biggest fans of part 2 sitting here. So like, shit,
I-
man,
I-
I fucking had so many like. Like I legit get mad, like in a way when people shit on part 2 that I don't for anything else, because it just I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's so like it's weird having this like attachment to a fucking piece of media, but part 2 just fucking spoke to me in a
Mm,
way that I don't think
Let
a
me-
game ever has.
yeah.
Honestly,
I
it's a really special video game.
I think there's a couple of the games that are going to come in the next couple of weeks that might challenge the number 1 spot, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it, and I'll see if I think it also holds the number 1 spot because it might. It might. Like
I don't want to
I'll play-
overhype it. Is it like I've literally like I feel like no matter what you're going in with expectations that are gonna be. I don't think it can meet it. You know what I
no,
mean?
I'm actually
'Cause
going
there's
with quite
so much
low
build-up.
expectations. I'm going with quite low expectations because I've heard so many bad things. I've heard you guys say so many good things, but I've heard so many bad things about it as well.
Right.
I'm going with
Swearing's
very
50-50,
middle
which I would not expect.
I am
And,
very
yeah, I mean, it seems that way. Like, I feel like maybe it might be a case of the minority being really loud,
Probably.
100%.
and it's hard to mix in, you know, people who genuinely don't like the game versus people who are just misogynistic.
Yeah.
It's always it's a difficult thing to kind of traverse, I think.
No, but I definitely will get. I definitely will play it.
I'm honestly stoked with part 2 being a number 1. I gotta be honest right now.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that, and I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what joins this
Like,
list because I
yeah.
think like even the top 5 might stay at top 5.
The ones
Those-
that I've got so far aren't going to be touching the top 5. So that
I'm
we've got now.
trying to think of another game that can touch that top 5, and I honestly I don't think I can. I really don't.
Yeah, I got a few, but they're not. Yeah.
I mean, I see. Here's the thing: is like I don't think I'm as high on Red Dead Redemption 2 as you guys are. So maybe there might be something that I think goes above Red Dead Redemption 2. But
Oh yeah, no, I would agree with going above Red Dead for sure at some point. But
I don't know. It's
Top
gonna be
5
so
is
interesting.
definitely changing. I think.
I'm excited. This is a good segment. I like this.
Yeah, I think top
I'm
5.
gonna pat
is
myself on
definitely
the back for this one. This is fun.
I think top 5 is definitely going to be changing. I think there's going to be a couple of games that are going to be moved in and out once we think about some other games that are going to go on.
It's so funny. Like I chose sort of games that would like I didn't want to go for the big hitters yet because I was like Red Dead 2 is obviously going to be on this list. Last of Us Part 2 is going to be on this list. I was like, okay, I'll just choose like Portal 2, Last of Us Part 1, which obviously are going to be
going
high.
all out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring some heavy hitters next. I
When-
think next time.
when-
bring a
when
heavy
I thought
hitter.
of this list, when I think of my list, I think of one game that I like, one game I think had a huge impact, and one game that I know is like a really good game. You know
Fair
what I
enough.
mean? That's how I kind of do my list, is stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna go.
I
through
think
it.
we'll definitely have to do like it when we get to 100. We'll have to do an episode where it's just like us finalizing the list.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun.
I agree.
It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to
I'm
this.
worried because at some point I'm going to start bringing games from my childhood.
I was gonna say
That's fine. You know what? Here's the thing, right? Like, maybe we should have a rule where like you can have 1 or 2 games where no matter what we say, you can choose the spot for it. Maybe it can't touch like top 5,
Yeah, maybe not. This is
but
one.
like anything below the top 5, if there's like a disagreement, you can say like, no, this is my 1. This is my 1 or 2 that I'm putting here because I think it deserves to be here.
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with that.
And there's
Mhm.
probably a bunch of games from each of our childhoods that none of us have played as well.
Yes.
Like
True.
older
Exactly. They
Nintendo
won't. Yeah.
games. I
Yeah.
haven't
Exactly.
played older Sony games.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Shit, I haven't either. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a kind of like a more recent repertoire of games. Like when I think about older games that I've played, I don't think any of them would sit on a top 100 list for me because I
Bro, are
had a
you an
fucking original
ancient gamer
Xbox.
playing Halo 3?
No,
Now,
maybe
I
not
have
that. No, but I mean,
Ancient.
one question I have.
the question is,
think we talked-
do you think Destiny 2 is going to hit this list at some point?
Oh,
Do you think it's gonna? I think it'll be top
please
100.
don't bring
Okay,
Destiny
look,
to this
Okay,
list.
okay. I will not bring Destiny 2 if you don't bring Overwatch 2.
Oh no! I'm gonna say this right now. Overwatch 2 is nowhere near top 100 games.
Thank God.
I already
It's
have.
funny because I would put Destiny in my top 100 games.
I would agree.
100 is a lot. 100 is a lot. Nathan,
I
you
would
enjoyed Destiny 2.
No,
I don't know if it's in
Here's
my
the thing.
top 100.
Look, there's a lot of
That's
games
fair
that I
enough.
like. There's a
Like
lot
a
of
lot of
games that I like that I don't think are in top 100, and I don't think Overwatch is.
Okay,
even
I've got a question. Do you think a Call of Duty game will hit this top 100 at all?
Yes.
Really?
No,
I think
no.
there's maybe one
look,
that I can
Maybe
think
one.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's
I
one.
haven't even played it. I just watched it.
There's like
Oh, you're thinking of that one. See, I'm thinking of a different one. That's fine. That's fine.
there's
Yeah,
Are
I
you
was thinking
thinking
Modern
of-
Warfare 1.
The like COD
The
4
remake.
or
Yeah.
COD 4.
I was
Yeah,
actually
I
thinking
know.
Black
COD
Ops.
4.
I was thinking Black Ops.
Black Ops. And yeah, COD 4 might even be.
Look,
Oh yeah,
COD
I love COD 4.
COD
Look,
4.
there's
I mean,
actually-
if we're
Whoa.
doing strictly on impact, like Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
COD 4.
COD
Maybe
4 is like
that'll-
maybe the
that'll make
most
it to the
impactful game
list.
of the last.
Here's the thing, right? Is that like there is actually a couple of CODs that were actually the immediate kind of head COD 4, Black Ops.
I mean, they're good. I don't think there's a bad call. I honestly don't think there's actually like a really bad Call of Duty game. I just think there's a lot. I think they're
but,
kind of like just a standard.
If I
These
say
are an experience.
Yeah.
Like
we have a top 100 list, I think there's definitely be one COD game, at least in like the.
I think
bottom-
it'll be like in the 90s.
It's
I don't
bottom
think it's
20.
gonna be very high.
No, not
Yeah.
gonna be very high, but there's definitely be a COD game in this list somewhere. I definitely think there'll be one in this list somewhere.
I think there'll probably be one. There's got to
Yeah.
be one.
There's
I
gotta
think
be.
there might even be. I don't know.
No, there could be
I
two
don't
because like
know.
I don't like the thing is that Black Ops 2 was like pretty strong for its time. That game was like because that came out around the time where YouTube started to blow up as well. So like it kind of just blew up the scene of Black Ops 2 and it kind of like
Yeah.
a lot of funny moments and so on. So like it had a pretty big impact on
The
YouTube.
thing with Black Ops 2 though is that I feel like we should be like we've got the list. Like we should just stop.
We just
I
leave
feel like
it.
we go for hours and hours.
Yeah.
we really could.
We should just leave it. And we'll do one more thing, right?
One more thing.
Yeah.
Right, Ben?
Let me go. I haven't thought about this, so let me go quickly
yeah.
look and retrieve.
Jamie,
Look
do you
at
have
it.
yours? I need to grab mine. I need to
I
grab
do have mine. I'll talk. That's
You
fine.
do yours first. You do
Wait,
yours
wait. Maybe you wait. You wait here. Then Nathan goes and gets his thing, and then you go get your
first.
thing.
Get my thing. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's fine. That's fine.
So, I'm sort of continuing on from the TV show kind of theme that I'm going for.
Yep.
I started watching a new show this week called Poker Face.
I-
And
yeah.
Poker Face is really fucking dope. So, for those who don't know what Poker Face is, this is a game. This is a TV show where each episode is a different case, and the person solving the case is a normal citizen. But the catch is that she knows when people lie. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
this TV show is actually written and directed by Ryan Johnson, who did Knives Out and
Yes.
Uh,
yes.
Star
the- what's-
Wars.
Last Jedi, and also Glass Onion, which recently came out on Netflix. And it is so funny. It's got really good guest stars. It's like the main character. She's the same actress who was in Russian Doll, which is a really good Netflix series.
Oh, that's a good show.
You enjoyed Russian Doll? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like season 2 as much,
No.
but season 1 was really fucking great. But yeah, Poker Face, great charismatic lead, cool guest stars, like people that you'd be like, oh, I know who that is, but not someone who takes away from like any like being like, oh, that's a famous person. But yeah, and really clever writing, and yeah, it's just really fun, and I recommend it. It's on Stan if you're in Australia, and it's on Peacock if you're in the US, which I think is fucking like NBC's fucking
Cocker?
streaming service.
Cocker?
Yeah, Peacocker.
Calka.
Yeah, I really recommend it. It's super funny. There's like 4 episodes out right now, and then it's gonna be weekly. And yeah, totally recommend checking it out if you're looking, because right now TV shows, there's like Last of Us and this, and there's not a lot else happening. So definitely check it out. Over to you, Nathan.
Yeah, we'll do you next, Nathan.
Yeah,
gonna
so
do you
there was
next.
something that I did want to get. It's downstairs in a box, but I completely forgot about it. So I'm copping out today, and I have brought for you to see an ancient gamer relic, the Wii U gamepad.
Oh my god.
I
That
love
is,
it.
bro, I forgot how big the
Bro.
bezel
Dude,
was on
this
that.
thing, like, it's a handful of console. Like, this
Holy
compared to the
shit.
Switch is insane, man.
But you
It's
gotta respect it,
humongous.
because without the Wii U, we wouldn't have gotten the Switch.
That's true.
You
You
want
know?
to?
Wow, that was a piece of shit. I can't believe I bought one of those.
I actually have a story.
I think I played the Wii U for under 20 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Total.
I-
I think 19 of those hours was Mario Kart 8.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a story with the Wii U. Okay, my friend
Ooh,
bought
what does that
one.
mean?
He brought it over. Okay,
Mhm.
and he had Black Ops 2 on it. Like it just
Oh
reminded
my
me of
god, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, there were so
Had
many
Black Ops 2.
third-party games on the Wii U at
Yeah.
launch, because they were
Black
like,
Ops
"Oh, this is the next thing." Zombie
This is
U,
it.
remember Zombie U?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Dude, we
Black
were
Ops
so
2.
excited for Zombie U.
Bro,
Remember
you
when we
could-
saw that in
Oh,
fucking
dude, it's got a
fucking
stylus.
Yeah. Here's the
new
thing.
technology? We were like, "Oh, you can aim with the you shoot the sniper with the."
I could do
Anyway,
my inventory in here.
tell your story about Black Ops 2 on the Wii U.
I will say one thing: the touchpad. Some score streaks, when you would call them in, you would actually use the touchpad. So like one thing I would remember is a lightning strike, like the jet strike, basically. When you
Yeah,
would
right.
call it in,
Oh, that's right.
That
Yeah,
would
lightning
pop
strike.
up,
Yeah.
and you would press where you wanted it to go.
That's cool.
It was actually kind of sick.
Man, that
It was-
really takes me out of the game.
yeah.
I guess it doesn't, because like,
No, but
wait. So
the-
what? Okay, so hold on. If you you've got the score streak on the gamepad,
Yeah.
what are you seeing on the TV screen?
Is
it
you know
just
how
the
when
laptop?
you're spectating? It's just the laptop. That's literally all you saw. It was just the laptop. And like
Right.
other cool
That's
stuff.
weird.
Which
That is really
is-
weird.
there was other cool
So
stuff.
wait, what do
but
you see on the screen? Is it just like the laptop image, or is it the
Yeah, so
laptop as well on the screen?
remember- No. It's just the image of the map. That's all.
Okay,
it is.
it's kind of cool.
There's other stuff which was like if you called like a hellstorm, you would look down on the thing, right, and stuff like that. But there was one really weird.
You had to
one.
call in that. Wait, you had to. Oh, did you have to
You would
like
look down
tilt
and then,
it?
No. You would use. Well, I think you could tilt it, but it was a joystick, right?
Okay, Activision fucking. If they didn't do it, if you didn't use the tilt control, that's bullshit.
There was one
Should allow
weird
that for the
one
for the
I
score
Now,
streak.
I don't remember this correctly, but I thought this was really funny when I saw it. When you get a K9 unit, the cam on the thing would be on like the cam of a dog. It
That's
would
kinda cool.
follow a dog around.
That's
Wait,
cool.
no, this might be the game of the year.
Yeah.
This might be the best game of
That's
all
pretty
time. Wait, hold on
fucking
a
sick.
second. This is actually sick.
It was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, like because like the map would be there all the time, and when a UAV happened, it would pulse on top, but it was a pulse on there as well. Like it actually like, integrated the like screen pretty well. It was
My
pretty
favorite thing about the Wii U was how a lot of the third-party games came out a year after they came out on the 360 and
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah.
Like I think Mass Effect 3 came out on the Wii U, but not 1 and 2. So these Wii U owners just played Mass Effect 3 on the
Yeah.
Wii U, and that's it. Like they had to they had a questionnaire at the beginning to answer the questions of what happened in Mass Effect 1 and 2, so that they could have their own story in Mass Effect 3.
Oh my.
It's like, oh my
All
god.
right.
And like I think fucking Batman Arkham Origins came to the
Yeah,
Wii U,
something
but
like
the
that.
other ones
Oh.
didn't. Yeah, man.
Okay, that's weird.
Weird times. Weird times.
Okay, my final thing. So
What is
I
your
actually-
one is your one thing?
so
One thing.
I was cleaning up recently. Now,
Mhm.
there's a backstory to this. Before I was really into basketball, I was really into bowling. Okay, I did a lot of bowling. I know it's weird, right? But you know how when you get a
It
perfect
reminds me of
score-
that guy who's like, "Who are you? I am." Remember the
Yeah.
video of the fucking professional bowler?
yeah, no, but there was a bowling alley I used to go to when I used to practice a lot.
Yeah.
And you know when you score 300, that's a perfect score. You get all strikes. The bowling alley, what they would do is for your final strike, the number one pin, they would give it to you, right? And one day, I went off. I went
That's a
really
weapon.
well, and I was given the number one pin. So this is actually the pin of my final strike, and I found this recently. There's a lot of damage to it. It's fucked up. It's
I feel
really
like that could be used as a murder weapon.
no,
You
it,
could kill
dude,
someone with that.
this is
Those are
actually
heavy.
hefty. This
Yeah.
is actually hefty, right? But yeah, no, it's an actual like bowling pin. I was given.
That's
to it.
cool.
But yeah,
Bro,
no.
man's got these like real life stories. That shit
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah,
relatable.
like,
Get
I'm
out of
literally
here.
talking about a TV show that
Yeah.
aired last week.
I
Like,
shot a fucking brick.
next time I'll bring a really personal, heartfelt story. Jesus. Fuck, okay.
I thought it was just an old memory.
Oh, that's
you
really
know?
cool. That's dope.
That's cool.
It's an
That's
old
cool.
It's a
memory,
weird
so-
dildo though. Like it's you know.
This could like look how thick the head is. Look at
Jesus.
that. It's
No, but
it
what
could
about
be
the other? What about the body? That's where it
What
gets
about
really
the other way?
interesting. That's where it
that?
gets really interesting.
like my hand
Yeah, well,
compared.
because no, well, because you do the top and then you keep going, and then eventually you engulf
exactly.
it,
Right? Yeah.
and you die.
And you die. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's very cool. It's
You never recover from that.
no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. But yeah, no.
Although the
that's-
raccoon, you know,
yeah,
you can fit
exactly.
like 10 raccoons or something. No, it's not 10.
Four.
That's I don't know how they have that stat. They've got to be babies, right? They can't be full size raccoons.
No, full size adult raccoons. Fit up your ass.
I got to see how they tested that.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to see.
It's obviously theoretical. But
It's
anyway,
obviously theoretical.
you know, let's not. Maybe we won't end our
Well-
final note on how many raccoons you can fit
No,
up
I think
yourself.
that's great. I think that's great.
Actually, that's pretty on brand.
yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Well,
Anyway,
that's all. I mean, Ben,
yeah.
it's time to
Yeah, it's
sign
time
us
to
off.
wrap it up. Thank you all for listening to tonight's podcast. And we're doing it next week, same time, I imagine. So it'll be up on Friday again.
It'll be two of us.
There'll be two of us next time. Yes, two of us next week. We might have a special
Okay.
guest. We were
Maybe.
talking about it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
might.
we're in
have a
talks. We're in
special guest.
talks.
Yeah, we have talked
Special
about
guest.
it.
We're actually
Dwayne The Rock
we're actually
Johnson.
bringing Todd Howard onto the show.
Exactly. We're gonna.
While
we have an
Nathan's away,
inside-
we're actually bringing old Todd, and he's going to tell us
inside
how
depth
how
of
how
Starfield.
development of Fallout 76 went.
Exactly.
Didn't
But
go
yeah,
well. Spoilers.
thank you all very much for listening, and I guess I'll see you all next week. See you later, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.